And we're live, I think. Alright, good stuff. Fantastic. Okay, good. Luvion, how's it going, man? How you doing? Damn. It's probably not a great one, but Pushcard, how's it going, man? How you doing? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy to me. Okay. This is physically painful. Is the volume 5 Charged Demigod really necessary? Well, I guess strictly speaking, is it necessary? No, but I like it. Username, what? How did I betray you? What? Wrongs, how's it going, man? How you doing? How did I betray you? What the fuck? Romero, how's it going, man? How you doing? Okay, I'm gonna need some fucking Prime Jordan-esque. You didn't tell me you were going. I'm so. Yeah, that's why I put it in the fucking Discord channel username. What am I supposed to do here? I mean, hasn't it been a while since my Empire started? Yeah, I guess true. Yeah, I know, Milosh. Okay, good thing is next weekend I won't be working on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because Monday's a statutory day, we can have 3 days where we have streams in the morning. So, like, that'll be kind of nice again. Just a username. I can't, bro. You want me to send it out to, like, everyone who's not in the Discord individually? That's kind of a fucking... That's kind of an unfair expectation, no? I mean, you can't have, like, strong moral quandaries, or strong moral quarrels, and then say, like, oh, well, actually, I still want all the stuff that everyone else has. Well, you can't be vegan and be like, damn, bitch, I don't get to eat cheese. This world is a prison for real, you know? It's like, yeah, username. I'm not on Discord. Like, I try to check Discord as often as I can, but I can't be on there all the time, you know? Okay, alright, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna need to fucking lock in here, okay? So L is not here, O, L, so it could be E, X, O, L, or it could be X, H, O, L, E. This is a fucking word. You were stopping at 10:30? Okay, yeah, we can. 10:30 is just a stand-in Pushcar. If I'm getting tired around that time, I might stop 10:29. If I feel good, we might go to like 10. Let's go! Thank you, Zaza. I would have gotten there, but I appreciate it. Bog, how's it going, man? Zaza, thanks for coming by. Adam, how you doing? Alright, that was good. Listen, for how little I had, I got pretty close, okay? 10:32 is a good spot too, okay. Yeah, we'll see. Bro, no, I'm not playing Octurtle. I don't hate myself that much. Oh, without creamer, my coffee just tastes horrible. It's fine. Easy Piece of cake. Elementary. No sweat. What? Hearts. Child's Play. Thank God. Okay. 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 Elementary school, primary school, grade school. Anyone from some other part of the country call like elementary school something else? Grammar school? That's not a thing, right? Halloween, Magic Kill, Block Party, Con Game. Grammar? It has to be grammar. Sick process of elimination. Yes, let's go. Okay. So, festival. Magic show, block party. No, wait. Festival, picnic, tailgate, block party. Let's go! Halloween, con games, magic show, hearts. What do these four have in common? Gram Jam or movie? Yeah, I'm really bad at movies, so I might do Gram Jam, see what that's about. But I'm just bad at. I don't watch a lot of movies. Okay. Halloween, con game, magic show, hearts. What does this have in common? I don't know. Associated with tricks. Oh my God, clown for real. You said Gram Jam. What the fuck is this? Swap letters by tapping them or dragging them around. Clear the board under 20 swaps. Oh, okay. Okay, I know what this is. Wow. Okay, I'm just bad at this apparently. Jesus Christ. What is going on? I don't know how to play. I'm just... I don't know how to play this. I'm just moving them around incoherently. How is that possible? No, we're playing. Okay, we're playing Link Sikon. This is over. Fuck that. Hold on. Wait, no. Okay, well, let's play practice. Fine. Previously, past memory. Memories? Nice. Memory special. Event. Memory social. Party. Party event. Event memory. Event memory. Photos? Fuck. Photography? Pictures. Photographer. I would have thought photographer event would have done it. Memorable? Maybe. Memorable. Nice. Thank you, Luvion. That's what I needed. Damn. So I didn't need all this bullshit. If I got to memories, if I just get to memorable, it all would have been over. Damn. Alright, we were close. We were close, either way. Alright. When taken? When taken. Oh my god, I actually got it right, eventually. Let's go. Blues Blood Brews. This is some New York shit, for sure. That's like a Toyota or a Mitsubishi or some... No, I think that looks like a Toyota. Some piece of shit. I think this is definitely New York. Oh, wait. NY. Yep. Nailed. Relatively recent, 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around. What the fuck am I going over there for? I've actually been to one of the places you had to guess in game. Oh, wow. Okay. Where's Manhattan? Bro, I'm not American, okay? Don't judge me. Okay, Newark. Yonkers. Man, you people just call people the wildest shit. What the fuck is going on here? Where's... Yeah, we're gonna go like here. Dr. Z. Oh, shit! Oh, that was perfect. Dr. Z, hey, how's it going, man? Canadians are pretty close. Oh, I'm sorry. You're Pakistani then, bitch? What's up? The past few days I woke up at 4 a.m. for prayer, so you were live on... Yeah, sorry, Dr. Z. Next weekend, we can have 3 days where I can stream in the morning, though, so that'll be nice. Okay, does any of my African brothers know where this flag is? I don't know. I think that's African. I'm like pretty sure that's African because I have no fucking clue what country's flag this is. And I know. And I've at least seen most of the other ones, but fuck me, dude. African flags, I don't know them at all. African geography, I'm just really bad at. Is Nagato here? What, Dr. Z? Why? What? Is Nagato here? I think he's the only person in my stream who's African. Devil, how's it going, man? You're good at geography. Do you know who this is? Do you know what country this is? Please help. This is the flag of Africa. Fuck me. Okay. Pushkar, you're such a bitch, dude. Zimbabwe? Alright, I mean, fuck it. I'll take your word for it. I don't know. Where is... Oh, fuck. I found it so quickly. I'm goated. What the fuck do you mean? Okay, we're gonna go... Early 2000s. Aw, 92. Damn. Alright. That's good. Thank you. Search that emoji. I just helped you. That's cheating, Pushkar. I mean, technically even asking you guys is cheating, but, you know. This is some... Okay, Robert Elcher. Weinhalle. Uherska Vinarna. That was pretty goated, Zaza. Yes, thank you. Alright, I'm gonna guess this is Berlin in, like, 1890. Czechia. Prague. 1870. Pretty close. I know Zimbabwe from... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Do they have a good team? Do they have a big team? The only thing I know about cricket is that it's big in like India, Pakistan, and England, and I think Australia also plays it. Those are like, I think. Okay. What the fuck? This is so generic, bro. Come on. What? Okay, hold on. We're best, but... Australia is the best one? Ah, okay, cool. Zimbabwe. And Slatu. I don't know any of these words. America also played? Really? Listen. I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the sense that, like, I would assume Americans would have a team in, like, most sports. That makes sense. But, like, it's definitely not something I knew if they're a team about. What the fuck is that? What country is this, bro? No, this doesn't speak Spanish to me, dude. This like is some fucking Polish shit, you know? Where's Warsaw? There it is. We're gonna go 95. Fuck, Dutch. U.S. team is just Indian and South Africa. Hey, well, America's a country of immigrants, okay? So that's okay. A red and white flag, is that Austria? Austria has a red and white flag, right? Austria. The only reason I'm searching up Austria is... Oh, fuck, I actually got that right? Oh my god. I thought for sure I had that wrong. I always hate on Sri Lankan cricket team just to get people I know mad. Based fucking gaslighter, dude. Anime. Oh yeah, Zaza. Okay, I meant to ask you guys. Okay, do you want to do that at the start before reading or at the end after reading? Your guys' call. I don't care either way. Where is Austria? Oh my god, if I'd have read... Oh my god, I'm on a fucking hot streak today. Oh, Graz. I don't know any Austrian city. 2015. Oh my god! Goated! Let's go. Oh yes, let's just do a poll. I don't know my... let's do a poll. $8.25 out of a possible 1,000. 82.5%. Pretty good. Give an option to end stream? That's... Oh, sorry. Did I not tell you guys about that username? If someone gives 10 subs, I'll end stream right away. I don't care. How's that? Retail 1033? Okay. If that's the case, let me ask you this then. Where did we end off last time? Where did we end off? Okay, so 1024 is where we are. Okay. So is it possible, is there like a decent place for me to stop midway? Is it possible for me to read like 4 or 5 chapters, like 27, 28? Then we stop, react to the episode so I can chill for a little bit, let my feel a little better, get a little bit of a rest, and then we read the rest. Is that possible? Godzilla, how's it going, man? How you doing? Bowman's. Take off my mind. 1029? Okay, we could probably do that. We can probably do that. Like five chapters. Wait for a bit. 5 chapters. Okay, let's do that. Okay. But wait, most people are saying at the start. So, you know what? Let's just watch it right now. Fuck it. You know what? We'll just watch it right now. Gives a fuck. No, we just watch it right now. Fuck them. Ah! Sorry. Scared me, okay? That's an actual jump scare. What the fuck? Nine and a half. Oh shit. Okay. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Best episode so far? Oh shit. Let's go. Okay. Take off.
非凡世界，人类通过浮世魔药，掌握不同的非凡能力，完成生命层次的晋升。这22条境界之路，从序列9开始，序列数字越低，非凡能力越强。
The only thing is old Neil.
序列强者可以拥有比
Did you hear? Yes, I did hear that, Romero. Which sequence 0 does it spoil?
化路径成为神之途径。
Oh, Oh, I see what you mean. The existence of Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I forget that Sequence Zero is technically a spoiler because I had that theory like right at the start. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But like, yeah, I guess theory and yeah, okay, that's fair. Azek is. Oh, Azek? What are we on, buddy? What's up? Oh, he's drawing his memories. What the fuck? Episode 6, Teacher. Lamed Castle. Oh, okay. Miss Elizabeth came to us seeking an interpretation from her. Okay. Now this part is pretty similar to what happened at the in the book, I think. Again, I read this a long time ago, and yeah, there's indeed a wraith. Man, across the just Sequence Zero says true. Oh shit! They say that. After a minute, within 15 minutes, 378 can cause wraiths to disperse. Only know to praise the sun. Let's go praise the sun. True. Wow, that cut to like the rat and then seeing it through his POV is so cool. What the fuck? Like they do that occasionally where they're like they'll follow a rat around to see through its POV, which is so cool. Because like the fluidity of that is like so nice to see. Baron Lamed, having had known Azek's background, this is so crazy. This is basically like me reading Lord of the Mysteries Volume 1, right? I mean, obviously some changes, but... Bro, Azek's son is aura farming as fuck. What the fuck? Look at this guy. Oh, yes. Oh, that's so good. Oh, what the fuck is that? Wait, this haven't dropped Ince's name. Oh man, I really thought they were gonna do it this episode, because at this point we're as of next episode we're in the wow, that animation is beautiful. What the fuck? Cause now as of next episode we're in the latter half of the episode, or latter half of the season, and I don't think that is. I don't think that's great. It's a dream. Captain Dunn, based as always. Purified. Let's go. Director said next episode needs a big brain. Based. It's very eerie. It's a deep attachment. Centuries old at the very least. I'm so scared about episode 8 because I think that's the one where Derek gets introduced, the little son, our goat. And bro, if they cook that episode, I'm never gonna forgive them. I swear to God. That doesn't look like Isaac at all. What the fuck?
初代浪的感觉。这个人好眼熟啊，这不是阿兹克先生
Oh,
吗？
okay, fine. Whatever. If you say it is, bitch, whatever.
看来俺最尊敬的老师是个千年老怪。不，等等，只是有点像。阿兹克先生可温和多了。
Now look at,
这里的烟火应该都会紧吧？
and then
基于其特性。
wait, is he gonna? Oh, he's probably gonna steal the drop of EBS. Oh, he's gonna go. He's gonna get fucking nearly annihilated by EBS this episode, isn't he? Oh shit.
2小时
The face shape is similar and has the mole. Okay.
你们再休息，
The Washington. Look like George Washington.
有事我想交一声。
Which is so weird to me, Doctor Z. Like, bro, why is episode 8 just randomly bad out of nowhere? I mean, we all disliked episode 5. Was that the last one? Yeah, this is 6. Yeah, 5. The sacred only shows the sacred emblem comes from incest and is related to the sun pathway. Oh, so, oh, buddy, you're gonna try to divine. Oof.
我想找一个跟你一点
2 and 5 and 8. So hopefully 6 and 7 are really, really good. You guys are saying 6 is really good. 7 hopefully is even better. And then 8 is just don't have a high hopes for it. That stuff is just cool for me to see, like the manifestation of his powers to like use the gray fog to create stuff. He just went and like the paper appears. Like that's really, like we see it in the novel all the time where like it says like, oh, he generates lambskin or whatever, but like all the same time physically see it as different. Ralph, how's it going, man? How you doing? I don't think I've seen you in chat for a while, but all the same, thanks for being a member. I didn't get a chance to say it to you. I like to say it to everyone who becomes one after they are one, but I don't always get to see everyone. So I appreciate being here, man. Leonard wouldn't say no to a crisp Klein. Jesus Christ, after Lise.
永恒烈阳。没错，永恒烈阳子是至少会太阳。
EBS possesses the sun pathway. And burst into flames! Wait, that guy, oh wait, that guy just fucking died.
就是3.782无法被封。
Oh, don't try to divide with that gold liquid. No. No. Oh, he's so cooked. It's so funny to watch this in hindsight. Because, like, in the moment, you're like, yeah, let's find out what that gold liquid is. And then in hindsight, you're like, no, don't look it up.
备份材料。
Oh. That looks so cool. Dude, I'm sorry. Hold on. I get that it's a really cool moment and stuff, but hold on. Fucking look at this. Dude, they should have used this in Oppenheimer. Holy fuck, look at how beautiful that looks. And I'm not even showing that it's it's moving around. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh god damn. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, and like I have to say, like I get like EBS is a true god, and it's like, dude, this gray fog, whatever it is, managed to, like, yeah, he took some damage. It's not great, but like it took like 5 seconds before the gray fog was able to filter it out. Someone peeking into the soul of a true god. Like, what the fuck is this gray fog? That's so powerful. It's done that to him. It's done that to the true creator like every fucking day forever because of the Rosego's eyeball or whatever the fuck. Like, this is so. What is this gray fog? And I still don't know 1,000 fucking chapters into this fucking. I've had the same question since like fucking chapter 7. What the fuck? Adam, how's it going, man?
想不是灰不抗蛇，我怕是连灰都不是。以后不能什么都拿来占卜了，谁知道会看见什么鬼东西？
Yeah. What is this? Angel of pure white?
符咒的制作技巧。
Oh, the knowledge he got from the sun. Oh, yeah, from peeking into his soul. Yeah. Must not gaze directly at gods.
这是什么？完蛋抗大 boss 1分钟攻击得到的生存奖励吗？等等，序列4，这可是我收获的第一份高序列
The
内容。
high sequence recipe. Oh, this is true. So whenever the little son is a sequence 5 now, right? Because he's notary is a sequence 5, I think. Oh, so Klein can sell him the recipe immediately because he's had this for so long.
3人782，恐怕比所有人想象的都要强大。以后得找个机会，最后一下给谁剪羊毛。
Eric, ask me the question after the episode's over, okay? I don't wanna, because I start talking about the Grey Fog. I'm gonna spend 80 minutes just here. Ask me after the episode's done.
队长们发现，
Priest of Light is sequence 5? Notary is 6? Really?
任何异常，不能再这么随便作死，
Recording that so casually.
一定要切记呀。
It's the angel. Oh, the angel of pure white. Cause he was an angel that betrayed ASG. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Hold on. Do I have this in my notes? EBS was the white angel serving ASG. Yeah. Okay, I had this in my notes. All the same, man. It's so cool to see it so far back. That's crazy. Like, we get that revelation, like, chapter 900, 950 something. Like, holy shit, dude. You should get some rest. Good work, Klein. 811? Really? It was that long ago? I feel like it was so recent. The Enshadowed potion was incomplete? Really? The first epoch, Age of Chaos. The creator awakens from chaos, creating the first light and forming all things from his body. The second epoch, Dark Epoch. The Evernight Goddess awakens. The third epoch, Cataclysm Epoch. Humans survive the Great Cataclysm with the blessing and protection of gods. Fourth epoch, Epoch of the Gods. Frequent wars and changing of dynasties. Fifth epoch, Iron Age. The 7 gods bless the northern continent. Okay, so Evernight Goddess awakens in the Dark Epoch. Do we know when the whole ASG battle trying to reclaim his authorities, which epoch that was? Do we know? Oh, come on. He's your teacher. He's not gonna do anything to you. Come on. Pray for you to Second epoch? So, Evernight awakens in the second epoch. We suspect that ASG was fighting with Evernight as well, and the remnant powers of Evernight being left there from their battles is what's causing the fog, not the fog, but like the darkness in the City of Silver. But then the question becomes, why were all the other churches Orthodox churches, but the Church of the Evernight was, at least for a time, considered a secret organization before it became big enough for it to become one of the major churches? Because I remember that in my notes somewhere where it said like the other three of the other churches or something were like considered like churches from right at the start, whereas like Evernight Church was considered a secret organization for a time before it became a church. Maybe Evernight Goddess came into godhood and through some kind of like subterfuge or something? And if she came through like subterfuge, maybe the other gods were trying to if that's the case, maybe the other gods were trying to kill her, so they relegated it to a Lamed castle. Yeah. Hello, Klein. Mr. Isaac. My drawings on the wall. It's giving me headaches. Don't be afraid. He would never hurt you. He's my goat. Trust me, he is the one guy who will actually protect you, okay? Everyone in this world is only just helping you to get something. Isaac is literally just here like, you know what? I stand up for my boy Klein. No! Help him, you bitch. You're no longer a student of Core University. This book cannot leave the campus. Okay, Mr. Isaac. Fucking second or third epoch. No, not that early, but like fourth epoch fucking demigod death console, and he's like, actually, the books are not only premises unless they're with a current student or faculty member. Like, bro, come on. Be better. A great throne that didn't belong to humans. The Hornices mountain range spans Intis and Lone. The nation of the Evernight mentioned in the indigenous family notebook. This is so interesting. Isaac sees Klein as his son. Even in this episode, in his hallucination, he looked at Klein when he heard his son's voice. Aw, that's so sweet. Wait, what? Sorry, hold on. So they'd keep dead ones next to their beds for 3 whole days. I don't know what to make of that. But I feel like it's somehow going to be important. Man, I don't fucking trust anything in this book. No entombment, no corpses. People seemingly disappeared as they never existed. Jack has traumatized me so fucking deeply. I don't even want to talk about it. The ruler of the Evernight, mother of the sky. But this is so interesting. Why was the Evernight goddess's nation, or where it was based, so important to the Fool pathway? Why is that? Remember her? Who's her? worshipped a mysterious being they called her. Oh, I see.
天地的主宰，
Mother of the Sky. Oh, the the Evernight Nation. Yeah. Okay. Mother of the. No, I don't have that. Fuck. Damn. I was hoping I had something in my notes. Shit. My notes have actually been so lacking recently because I haven't had time to fucking actually make them up since the ending of Volume 4. Fuck, man.
他非不好。
I guess this sounds amazing. Huh?
以往你都
You do know who's the Mother of the Sky? Do I? Okay, let me search up Sky really quickly. He discovered that him... No, already read that. His research was the precise... Dragons that rule the sky. Mother of the Sky. Okay, I don't know it, so if I'm supposed to, just let me know. I mean, I'm sure I know it, but like I don't recall it. That's probably a better way to put it. In studying things related to mysticism, I've discovered. Oh wait, is it Flagre? No, Flagre isn't a girl. Farbauti? Is that the girl? Flagrea? Is that a her? Farbauti's a guy? I forget. Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. Farbauti is the devil. I don't. One of them's a girl. Okay, I don't know which one.
不遗憾，
Zaratul mentioned that a Mother of the Sky. Oh, Dr. Z. Yes, you're right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay, hold on. And okay, yeah. Yeah, which is 017, right? That's 017, I think. Yes. Okay. Okay. See, I remembered something. Shut up. Fuck you guys. Couldn't gain any more insight.
可有一点我
There's one thing I'm certain of.
你命运中不协
Part
调
of
的
your erratic fate
很有点
very implicitly points to me. Which is so interesting because Azek can also see fate of the death pathway. Well, sorry, Azek can see fate and he's off the death pathway is what I meant to say.
也有人我的
She was mentioned ages ago. Yeah, exactly, it was mentioned ages ago, Ramiro. So why are you being so harsh, bro? I forgot. You know some of my secrets. Please help me recover them.
不用紧张，我只是想找回他的过去。
You can see fate linked to his own. Oh, I see. It's been ages since it's been. Yeah, I haven't updated notes since the ending of Volume 4, Pushkar. Which ain't good. It's not good at all. But the problem is, like, when am I supposed, like, today, okay, after I end stream, hopefully I'll end stream by, like, 4 or 5. So, like, I'll hopefully have a bit of time, in the afternoon. But if I have time in the afternoon, I want to make a video. I can't spend that time making notes. Like, I'm cooked.
阿兹克先生对克莱恩一直很好。照我也显示，如果告诉阿兹克先生国宝的情况，并替他在实验室内部隐瞒，他会在未来救我一次。在我梦里，他不是
It's not so run down.
阿兹克先生，
You really are a relic.
实验室老旧，多存。
Aww. carrying that sword heavier than himself.
我是国王的骑士，
Declaring I'm the king's knight.
那冤魂是他的孩子。
This is about halfway. Do you understand what I mean? It's jumpy flow. I get it, but so far I've really been enjoying it. Username. I get your objection. I do, but all the same, I. Oh, true nightmare. I would be shitting my pants if I'm Klein right now. I would go, oh god. I go, dude, I just killed that wraith. I'm cooked. I'm fine. This is better flow than 5. What 5? Brother, if there's something down there that gets past Azek, that gun ain't doing shit. You're good. Just leave it. That gun's fucking... that gun's doing dick. It's good, but it's still worse than 4 and 5? That's so beautiful, dude. Man, the animation is... like, I could watch this just for the animation. I don't... even if I didn't understand what was... Aw, Mr. Azek, don't cry. Whoever did this. All the spirits in like a kilometer around him are like, oh shit, the death console has arrived. Damn. That's okay. Damn, no need for the jump scare. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. I remember this from the trailers. Yeah, yeah. Man, it's so crazy that this was like a fucking thing that happened in the past. You just have a battle. People would just be fucking laying on the ground dead. You'd put them in a pile and just fucking cinch all of it. Oh my god. How did Azek die in the first place? How the fuck did they manage to kill... I don't care how many of these losers there are. How did they ever manage to fucking kill Azek? You're telling me a random normie soldier who's probably like 17 years old gets dragged from his fucking farm or whatever, comes here, he sees a guy wake up with like spears, swords, fucking 17 of them in his everywhere around him, and he gets up, and everyone's gonna go, let's kill him. No, everyone's gonna go, get the fuck away from that guy, bro. I'm not. You're so cooked. You're so cooked. You know what this you know what this is reminding me of? This is like Madara running against the fucking United Shinobi Alliance and just killing like thousands of people with his bare fucking hands. Holy shit. Isaac is running through this army. And the messenger comes out. What the fuck? Yeah, okay, messenger. Ah, boys, you're so cooked. No, you see, I don't believe this. An ordinary, like, someone who's a farmer, like, a month ago, sees a fucking 70-foot skeleton come out of the ground, and you're like, yeah, let's go kill. No, you're like, brother, I'm running away. My king might fucking find me and kill me. I'll take that over dying to some undead monster. So I'm gonna fucking become a skeleton for this guy for all eternity. You're out of your fucking mind. This is so... Ah, this is so cool. Merlin, how's it going, man? How you doing? This is so cool. Oh my god, he looks so... Jesus Christ, he looks so cool. I have filled graveyards all by myself. Good lord. Understanding that now, this is like Isaac, who was born in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, or like was reborn in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and then he woke up, fell in love with this girl, and he wanted her hand, but the only way for him to win her, get the like approval from her father, was to become like a knight or a baron or something. So he went out to war. This is him fighting the battle for his like beloved, basically. Like this is him fighting to get to be known as like a great knight, so that he could become knighthood, so that he could gain knighthood and eventually become a baron. Like this is so cool in hindsight. Knowing all that is so cool. Centuries, years came and went, and Isaac. Whoa, that is beautiful. Grand Baron Lamed. I bestow fief and confer the first class Augustus Medal. Bro, like, you just give them whatever you asked for. You imagine, like, a guy comes back from a battle, and you're like, where's the rest of the army? And you're like, they all perished, sir. And they're like, so you ran away from the battlefield and we lost horribly? And he went, no, it's all good, I killed them all. Like, what? Yeah, so, like, they killed all of our guys, but, like, I killed all theirs. What? There was like, we said 4,000 people. How many people do they have? Like 8,000? How many did you kill? Like 6,000? Like, what the fuck? What do you want? You want the kingdom? Bro, like, just take this castle. Who am I to bequeath anything onto this guy? You'll be like, nah, he's fucking lying. And then you go to the battlefield and it's just fucking everyone is dead, decimated. You see people having their fucking bodies just like paste on the ground because the fucking giant skeleton stepped on them. You're like, what the fuck is happening here? I'm 2 minutes behind, but didn't you see the witch talk about Pale and Death? Yeah, the Pale disaster. Yeah, Samo, fuck you, dude. Thanks for popping by. How you doing, man? Oh, there's pause. That's why. Damn, and Isaac's eyes get worse and worse because he recalls more and more. Noisette, how's it going, man? And she doesn't want to be around him because he's getting colder and colder, and he's like, damn, she's like pulling away from me. It's like, yeah, no shit, bro. You're becoming the fucking death console, and you're like, humanity is beneath me. Jesus. Just finished Volume 4? Oh shit, nice Noisette. Yeah, the ending of Volume 4 was so peak, dude. I think my favorite volume ending so far. Holy shit. In the novel, she stayed with him till the end because, beside feeling cold, because she loved him. Yeah, exactly. I think even here, she basically did stay with him until the end. If you just assume that as soon as he left, she passed away. She basically did stay with him right until the end, right? I think this is fine too. He's like, he's giving up all this, and he's like, I have become, I no longer have any need for castles and titles. I am the Baron. No, what? I am the Death Console. Corpse Collector Pathway. Sequence unknown. Sequence 2. Death Console. Holy shit. Spare you from misfortune. He was sealed and alive? Jesus Christ, that's horrifying. His head is gone. Some damage to corpse suppression. Should pay them back tenfold. Bloodline tracing. No, Noisette, you can't catch up to me, damn it. You're supposed to. No, stop it. Stay there. Jesus, that how many? This is like the fucking buffalo skulls or whatever. If you've seen that from like 1800s in America, like holy shit. Bye, Noisette. Jesus Christ, that was so many skulls. What the fuck? Untraceable. Cooked. Oh, and the feather. Because Azek is like sitting there, he's like, Azek attempted to do a divination that by every known that by every known fucking facet of humanity should work. However, for some unknown reason, it didn't. Like, fuck me, I guess. Thanks. Any theory on what the feather might imply? I think the feather is basically just a homage to the dragons, I would assume. So the dragons are basically so like the power of the dragons are being used, the dragon pathway, and so it's just like a portion of their power being used. So it's like a little bit of like a fucking feather being left behind. But don't worry, I will find him. So I'll be of help to you. Aww, that's so sweet. Dragons have feathers? Some do. Alright, since you guys are gonna keep doubting me, you guys can suck my dick. While most dragons have leathery, scaly skin, some have feathers making up their wings. Perhaps I'm someone who has lived for a long time. No, yeah, he's Death's son, yeah. Where were we awakened? I forgot my name. Basic info. So, like, I guess Azek knows when he's about to die, so he'll, like, prepare himself, like, he'll get, like, a new idea or whatever for himself so that the new him can start some... hurt them. Even in solitude. Together our dreams, but their fates of my reincarnation. I stopped chasing the warmth of my family. I've lost count how many lives I've spent all alone. Aww. Joy is fleeting, but loneliness endures. Jesus. Grateful to you, Clay. A ship on the sea, forever adrift. But now, I have a headache. Oh, now he gives him his whistle. Yeah.
我能理解，阿兹克先生。其实，在这个世界，我也是一叶孤舟，不知道什么时候才能见到父母。
I don't know when I'll be able to see my parents or return home. Never. Like, just like Azek. You're both stuck here.
很幸运的是，
I have
我
Benson
还有办
and
法在
Melissa.
地上
For now.
还能有一处安心的港湾。
For now.
不过，我终究不是克莱恩，所以我一定会离开。
Sooner than you think, Klein.
既然结局已经注定，那就在还是克莱恩的日子里，多见见麦斯和梅丽莎吧。
What a good realization to have to say, like, hey, they may not be my family, but they're as closest to anything I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna spend time and enjoy them while I can. That's such a mature way of handling things. There's after credit scene, I think. No, there's not. Okay. Nope. And just okay. That was a great episode, dude. I enjoyed it all the way through. I would probably put it... I don't like giving 10s. I'm gonna put it at like 9.5. I think best episode so far, for sure. No doubt about that. Best one so far, but I'm not gonna give it a 10. I'd give it like a 9.5. 9.25 if I want to be really big a pain in the ass. That rounds up. Yeah, you're free to. Okay. 10. Now read 9 chapters. All right, we're gonna get to it. All right, let's see if we can. Inside the gray fog, Klein, who was holding the Sea God scepter, looked at the Black Emperor card, and the Tyrant card in front of him. Although the Viscount's answer could only prove that the king hid a great secret and had played a crucial role in the Great Smog of Baklan. Make the thumbnail and title catchy at some time. For what, Zaza? What are you referring to? And was highly likely to be a mass murderer, but it couldn't be said that he had spearheaded everything and was the true mastermind. Since they're possibly trying to start a war, could it be that the King George III is attempting to become the Red Priest? But he would almost certainly be of the Arbiter pathway, so that's interesting. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Could it be said that he spearheaded everything and was the true mastermind? After all, he might only be a puppet, but to Klein, this was already enough. The target was clear, and he had clues to investigate what they were planning. Seeing that Miss Magician and Miss Justice had left the area where the abnormality had happened and were practically safe, Klein continued to observe Quanos Kilgore. After a while, after securing the territory and confirming that no one was tailing him, Quanos walked to the mountain wall and took out an object. His entire body was tainted with a ghostly blue glow as he gradually became hazy and blurry and disappeared into thin air. A rather special form of traveling by a corporeal ritual or an item that allows him to teleport. Back when I came out from the underground ruin where Ince was and I passed through a similar door, this place isn't too far from the mountain where Mr. A pursued me. This setup needs a very suitable and secretive region. Without having any permission from the interior, just holding onto an activation item might not have any effect. And once something happens, destroying the corresponding ritual can prevent enemies from entering. Combining this info with what the Viscount had just revealed, he came to an initial conclusion that the king's secret and ploy by the 3 factions were hidden deep within the underground ruins. As long as one entered, the truth could be obtained. However, the difficulty in performing the investigation became apparent the more he thought about it. He had to first obtain the corresponding item, using a disguise as a faceless to fool the guards. He would teleport in. None of this was easy. According to Eridus, Quanos Kilgore wasn't just a demigod of the Black Emperor pathway. He also had a powerful sealed artifact. What is a demigod to a god? Even if Klein had made preparations, his odds of defeating the Brigadier General of MI9 weren't high if he didn't have the help of angels, much less finish him off in a stealthy manner without anyone realizing it. Furthermore, there were many difficulties in getting the help of an angel, as all of them had their own extenuating circumstances that prevented them. Good God. Your favorite fruit and vegetable? Fruit? I'm gonna, watermelon. My favorite vegetable. I hate all of them. Even if I take down Quanos Kilgore without drawing the attention of anyone, I have to consider the dangers that stem from entering. Based on what happened previously, it's impossible for them to not be on guard against a faceless. A cooperation effort between the kings, the psychology alchemists, and the demoness sect guarantees that their ploy is significant. It's extremely possible that there's an angel within the underground ruins. Klein frowned. He tapped the edge of the table as he decided to wait for as he waited to break out of the confines of his original thoughts. A few seconds later, a flash of inspiration came to him. Why do I need to do all this myself? The king's secrets and plans are likely detrimental to the three churches. Otherwise, the former captain, Mason Dare, wouldn't have attempted to inform them. As a blessed of the goddess, at least for now, isn't it obvious what I should do? Citrus family fruit and basil? Okay, wait. Carrots is actually a good answer. I actually don't mind carrots. In fairness, I also don't mind green beans, but I mean, I love the basil, so I don't know, fair. Dressed in blue and checkered pajamas, Gehrman raised his hand once more as he made a prayer. Enchanted, the Evernight goddess who stands higher than the cosmos and more eternal than eternity, you are the Lady of Crimson, the Mother of Concealment, the Empress of Misfortune and Horror, Mistress of Repose and Silence. This time, Klein didn't hold a ritual as he wasn't praying for a bestowment or response. All he wanted was to describe what the Viscount had said. After praying, Klein exhaled and stood in a remote area of the woods. In less than a minute, a figure appeared in front of him. "Good evening, ma'am Ariana," Klein bowed. "Good evening." She didn't make any small talk as she directly asked, "Quanos Kilgore is nearby?" "Yes, less than 10 kilometers away. He has already used an item to vanish. What should we do next?" "Wait for him to come out and find an opportunity to capture him." "Why are you so aggressive?" If Quanos Kilgore didn't head for the underground ruins and had gone to some other secret base, or he wasn't too deeply involved in the king's ploys, to have the church's archbishop taking action on MI9's top brass would be breaking news. As though sensing Klein's thoughts, Ariana calmly replied, "You will be the one taking action, not me. I will create a concealed world for you and provide the necessary assistance. Battle in a concealed state. Fight with the help of an angel. Where shall the ambush be? In your Mager Manor." I had the same thought, but I don't want to say it, Klein exhaled. The choice for the ambush location stemmed from simple logic. It was to do when Quanos Kilgore was most relaxed and defenseless. What about potatoes? Potatoes are good, but like potatoes cooked in any kind of healthy way are just ugh. And I mean, I don't want to fucking have fried fucking, soaked in oil fucking. I mean, as tasty as they are, they're so bad for you. I just hate all beans. I don't. Without a doubt, once Quanos finished his mission and returned to the manor, he would believe that the most risky part of the night was over. For the same reason, if the king's secret and ploy was of utmost importance, it would be possible for an angel to be watching over him while he returned from the underground ruins. Once he suffered an attack, the angel would be immediately able to respond. And only when Quanos returned to his normal routine would the monitoring be retracted. After all, there would only be a limited number of angels. Thankfully, I used the most covert method of tailing him, and the distance was plenty. From the looks of it, Ma'am Ariana didn't place the responsibility of the battle onto me to avoid the risk and reduce the negative effects, but because maintaining a concealed state and preventing the existence inside the underground ruins from noticing the battle will require a lot of her energy. At this moment, Ariana added, "The concealed world battle won't damage the real world." That's pretty good. "Then I need to make some preparations," Klein nodded. "Okay, Ariana." Oh my god, we're killing another demigod. Holy shit. Bro, Klein becomes a demigod and he's like, "Boys, I've been..." Even, actually, well, I guess technically he killed his first demigod without even becoming one, but he was like, "Boys, damn, I had my sight on you boys for a long time. You ready for this?" She didn't even ask what preparations I needed. Ugh. His left palm quickly turned transparent as he vanished from the spot. Inside the manor, Klein's figure blinked into existence, maintaining his appearance of Gehrman. He then changed his clothes and wore a top hat. Following that, he took out a piece of paper and used his fingers to write. Although I will say, how fucking cool is it that even though she's an angel, which I get, she's able to make like an artificial world for them to fight in but like the real world will have zero consequences from fucking demigods battling, because these people are supposed to fucking be. These people are like, a demigod is probably like, I don't know. How much damage could a demigod do? They're at least like large metropolitan city could be destroyed within a matter of like hours, probably. Maybe less than an hour. Yeah, no, I think that feels... Okay. Following that, he took out a piece of paper and used his finger to write. The tip of his finger spewed a scarlet flame, leaving charred marks without burning the piece of paper. Quickly, a silver outline appeared, forming one word after another. I mean, Sea King? Oh, I guess Sea King was 3, and he was like, way... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is true. Klein's about to get a sequence 4 characteristic and a pretty strong item. Whatever, I don't know what the item is, but like he's about to get something. Exalted Great Master, your loyal and resilient servant, Eridus, is here to answer your summoning. Do you have something you would like to ask me? Yes. What powers and artifacts does Quanos Kilgore have? Great Master, Quanos Kilgore is an Earl of the Fallen. What is that? What sequence? Earl of the... Sequence 4. Okay, cool. He wields a sealed artifact that also belongs to the lawyer pathway. Bro, he's so dumb. He has a fucking artifact that's of the same pathway. Well, you would get one from different pathways to make up for weaknesses. Bro, dumb as a bag of bricks. However, it also has some Arbiter pathway characteristics mixed into it. It's called a Concerto of Light and Shadow. Ooh. Bro. Oh my god, Klein's about to get this? And he's about to get the cross from the Viscount. Because Thors and Geo are probably going to give it to the Fool. Oh, Klein's about to become a fucking nightmare. He's probably going to sell the cross, if I had to guess, though, because he can't use it with other items. And Klein would be like, listen, I'd rather have 58 different items than just one really good one. It's to hide his sequence. Oh, I see what you mean. He can use it of the... it has some powers of the lawyer pathway and the arbiter pathway. So he can use the arbiter pathway abilities to appear as though he's of the arbiter pathway, because that's the official one that the MI9 and like other factions should have. And he can use the lawyer, and he can use the lawyer part of it to say like, oh well, this is how I have some powers of that pathway. Like, I'm not that guy, you know. Oh, that's so clever. Thank you, Arter. Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that. Both Seer and Black Emperor pathways with less destructive impact compared to pathways like Tyrant and Hunters to see what's going to happen, and then imagine this. Yeah, this is true. The Concerto of Light and Shadow is a pocket watch. It can restrict certain actions in an area, and it can also strip certain powers from the target. When the two are put together, the limitations created far exceed the two types. The Concerto of Light and Shadow is able to gift certain negative effects to the target, making him sluggish, eager, avaricious? What is avaricious? Avaricious. Having or showing an extreme greed. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. What? I'm allowed to change my mind. Okay, you know what? That is expected, Milos. Okay, listen. If you make a wrong assumption and you get new data, you should be able to change your mind, okay? That's not the sign of you being dumb. That's a sign of you having an intelligent mind, being able to assimilate new data into your conclusions, okay? The negative effect of Concerto of... Oh, wait, no, hold on. Okay. Apart from these effects, the sealed artifact wielder would also have the ability to distort the target's speech, actions, intents, and attacks. It can reduce a lethal blow into a less serious injury, or it could repel an attack, turning progression into retrogression. Escaping into leading a charge. Oh, that's... retrogression. I've never actually heard that word before. I mean, it's It's so obvious in hindsight, like retrogression, like the exact opposite. But I'd never actually heard that word before. That's interesting. Due to this, the negative effects of the Concerto of Light are rather serious. Amongst them, the main negative effect is to take note that once it's brought into combat, all the Beyonder effects produced in a certain region would be intermittently experiencing anomalies. It wouldn't distinguish between friend and foe, making it hard to control and unpredictable. This also means that lightning strike might still create a bolt of lightning, but it might splash the target with a blast of cold water, or summon unknown spirit world creatures. What the fuck? Oh, I feel like that sentence is gonna come in important. Like, Klein or ideally Quanos is gonna try to do something. It's gonna summon a spirit world creature, and then the spirit world creature will be attracted to Klein because of Azek's whistle or something, and Klein can use it for something. I don't know. Due to this reason, Quanos Kilgore has deliberately sought out a mystical item that can make him sufficiently lucky at critical moments, hoping that the random intermittent effect will benefit him. It's definitely useful to a certain extent, but it's not that great. Quanos Kilgore also has a strange revolver. It originated from an anomaly during an evil god sacrifice. What the fuck? It's called River's Shout of Despair. Oh, Klein's about to get an upgraded revolver, isn't he? It can shoot without bullets, and each shot possesses immense strength. It can shoot at the rapid pace like a miniature machine gun. Oh, shit. Oh, that's so good. That's really good. Okay. Targets who are hit by it will suffer Rever's Shout of Despair before he died. They will suffer different levels of pain, dizziness, and confusion. Is this better than Death Knell? I don't know if it's better, but I feel like to have two based revolvers in each hand, dual wielding them, like the Old West, that's based. The biggest problem with the revolver is that the wielder will also hear the Shout of Despair. It just won't be too frequent. As an Earl of the Fallen, Quanos Kilgore has no doubt experienced a qualitative change when it comes to distortion and unreasonable bestowment. In addition, he can also exploit laws, magnify effects, and use disorder to disrupt order. Exploit can extend certain states for longer periods of time or end it ahead of time. It will make the rules more beneficial to himself. For example, after jumping into midair, the state of being away from the ground can be achieved and extended. Magnify can boost the effects or influence of his actions. It can make an ordinary attack become an execution. It can turn a hug from a distance into a restriction. Yeah. Well, he only has 2 items. That's not that bad, you know? Well, no, 3, because he has the pocket watch, whatever the fuck that's called. He has the luck enhancement thingamajig and the revolver. 3, that's not that bad. Klein has 3 shoved into his left sock. We're okay. Yes, Nightwalker. Disorder will influence the structure of an object, the standards of a measurement, and the accuracy of an attack. It will make a seemingly massive building collapse, causing what seems like a huge distance to be shortened to that of a few paces, as well as allowing attacks that are aimed at him to miss their mark. What combos would work best in I feel like the Hunter pathway, along with like the Arbiter pathway, could be some fucking monstrosity. Cause like the Hunter pathway, like I think it's sequence 5, the one that Anderson is, can like figure out the weak spot of a target, and then you do that, and then you hit them with like something of the Arbiter pathway that says like attacks aimed at a weak point or quintuply effective or some bullshit, and then you just like nick him on his Achilles heel and he just explodes like a fucking watermelon. Oh well, I feel like that could be really based. Although Magnify, Exploit, and Distortion Beyonders of the Lawyer pathway can achieve certain things that only Beyonders of the Arbiter pathway can accomplish. Of course, low and mid-sequence Beyonders of the Lawyer pathway like Bribe are equally possessed by Earl of the Fallen and are even stronger. Great Master, I finished answering your question. Is that okay? That's right. My god, these changes are hard to deal with. I might suffer if I'm careless. Disorder isn't that terrifying. It's basically an enhanced version of Mentor Disorder's powers. Concerto of Light. I feel like Arbiter is like really good because Arbiter is basically just an enhancer. Arbiter is like you can mix Arbiter with any pathway and it would be like it just makes your powers more effective, and it's like who the fuck wouldn't want that? As he thought, Klein discovered that the main problem stemmed from a sealed artifact named Concerto of Shadow and Light. I like that so much. Light of Shadow and Light. Like the lawyer pathway is the darkness. It's the shadow, and the arbiter pathway is the light. And it's like combined together. They can do. This is so cool. As a Beyonder who liked setting up traps for his enemies, Klein didn't wish that after throwing himself into a perilous situation through his painstaking planning and hard work, he would realize that the item would summon a rabbit just as he was about to use the Fate Siphon charm to switch fates. Or perhaps it would turn into fireworks to celebrate the death of the user. Based. Arbiter is more like a canceller. Cancels powers by... Oh, I see. So you're saying it would be Hunter and Lawyer, because it'd be Hunter to figure out the weak point, and there'd be like Lawyer to say like, oh, distortion. Instead of a weak point attack causing double damage, it causes like quintuple damage or something. It would be distortion. Is that fair? Or magnify, maybe magnify. Quanos Kilgore can reduce the effects by raising his luck, but I can't do it. Fortune or misfortune that's not at the angel level won't be effective on me. But I have the marionettes, Winner and Noonie. How can the intermittent random anomalies of the sealed artifact be avoided? There's no need to avoid it. Quanos Kilgore just needs to become unlucky, and for this, the demigods of the Evernight pathway are experts. Very good. That's it for today. I'll summon you later if I need anything. Yes, Master. No problem, Master. Goodbye, Master. Good God, what a fucking dick suck, dude. Jesus Christ. Get yourself together, Eridus. Have some pride. Seeing the mirror turn normal, Klein retracted his gaze, quickly simulated the battle in his mind, gradually coming up with an idea and grabbing onto a flash of inspiration. After having a few tentative plans, Klein walked to the balcony and looked at the garden and the night sky, whispering, "Can you inflict misfortune onto Quanos Kilgore before the battle?" "Yes." "Then it's fine on my side," Klein replied. Tranquility quickly returned to the surroundings. That's so cool. Like, you're just talking into thin fucking air, and then the angel is like, "Yes, that is not a concern for someone of my caliber." And you're like, what the fuck? A rather cold breeze flew past, and Klein expressionlessly stared at the manor for a few seconds. He then pressed down on his hat, pulled the human skin glove on his left hand, and drew Death Knell. "Let's go, boys!" Right on the heels of that, he flicked his thumb and made the iron black revolver's cylinder spin. And Ramiro, you gotta remember, Klein wasn't even a demigod back then. And the amazing part is, this is not even where, like, I don't know if this is true. Okay, actually, wait, there's a question. Okay, this is more a question than a statement, so I'm curious your guys' take on it. I think, in terms of damage output, Seer is generally lagging behind anyway, because it's not intended to be purely based on, like, damage output. But I feel like particularly in Demigod, the Bizarro Sorcerer is like particularly lacking among demigods, because most pathways experienced a qualitative change at 4, whereas Klein will experience one at 3. Is that a fair thing to say? Or... No, wait, sorry. No, wait. Most pathways experience it at 5. Yes, it... Wait, amnesiac. I thought I was. No. Sequence 4 seer can have the other sequence 4s under him? What? Okay. Okay. The night grew dark. Okay, someone in chat, give me a good answer. Dr. Z, I'm waiting. The night grew darker as the crimson moon occasionally tore through the clouds. At this moment, a figure stealthily came to the Tussock River's south bank. None other than Quanos Kilgore. This demigod with a stout look surveyed the area and didn't notice anything abnormal. He then smiled and walked to the bar counter in the guest room, getting a cup and picking up a bottle of Magor red wine. He decided to pour some for himself to celebrate a wonderful night. Sequence 4 is a qualitative change, but in Seer, all the past powers come together and finally become whole. Whereas in other sequence, that happens at 5 instead of 4? Is that it? The other pathways experience a qualitative change at 5 and can then switch at 4, whereas Seers get it at 4, that's why they can switch at 3? Seers have the best survivability. This is true. Yes, this part is true. No, it happens at 4 at every pathway? It's still 4, but they focus on different aspects. Oh, okay. Seers are like cockroaches in sequence 4. At this moment, his spiritual perception was triggered. As he looked up, he saw the buildings and a few grayish-white chimneys suddenly become covered in shadows. To the side of the chimney, one of the steeple landmarks of Magor Manor's main building was equally dark. The clouds and the stars high in the sky had vanished, apart from the gigantic crimson moon. Under the night sky, the flowers and the trees were clearly in front of him, but they lacked any signs of life, as though they were dim. You can't have both perfect survivability and high firepower. No, Dr. Z, I say you can, okay? I say whatever pathway I choose needs to give me the best of both worlds. Otherwise, I don't want it. No, I'm just kidding. I would be a fucking... I would for sure be like a hunter pathway. If I was in the Lord of the Mysteries world, and unlike what you guys are saying, if I didn't immediately lose control, which I wouldn't because I'm built different. I would be of the hunter pathway for sure. Under the night, black and red, shadows and buildings, and the silence and plants presented themselves in front of Quanos Kilgore in such a strange state. Bug, what do you think all the your mom jokes are? What do you think they are? Think about it. I'm digesting my provocateur potion. Think, Bug, think. Like a seer, you need to kill every part of the seer that's qualitative change, while something like Tyrant wouldn't have something like that. They would have a huge boost in power. I see. Okay, I see what you mean. The demigod's pupils dilated. He reached his left hand into his clothes and extended his right hand under his armpit, taking out 2 items. Amongst them, he held a strange revolver in his right hand. Quanos Kilgore's left hand held an iron-skinned pocket watch. On the watch's face, half of it was filled with neatly arranged symbols that followed the order of time, and the other half was a chaotic mess. It even intruded into the neighboring region, and on both sides it seemed impossible to see the machinery behind them. Almost at the same time, a figure emerged out of the gigantic crimson moon. It glided over it fast. He grew bigger and clearer. He was a young man with black hair, brown eyes. Gehrman. Sparrow. Tonight, Gehrman joins the hunt. Let's go. I should be an instigator. Yes. Yes. I got it, Kami. I got it. I appreciate you, though. If it's too quiet, let me know, okay? No, this is a new one, Logan. I found this earlier, and it's Witcher 3, so I enjoy anything Witcher 3. I enjoy so much anyway. So I was like, fuck yeah. Okay. Upon seeing the young man in the black trench coat appear with a black revolver in hand, Quanos Kilgore, who was no stranger to all the important figures in the world, responded. The thumb on his left hand that held the iron-skinned pocket watch rapidly moved, reaching for one of the metal buttons on the messy inlays of the pocket watch. He raised his right hand, aiming at Gehrman with the revolver. This process was like a fleeting spark that came to an end. How about switching to Demoness? How about starting with Demoness and then switching to Red Priest for research purposes? Okay, I'm just gonna ask, okay? If someone was to go up, so go through the assassin pathway and then switch at sequence 4 to become the ultimate, what is sequence 4 of the hunter pathway? Sorry, I know I know I should be reading a really important fight right now, but I don't care. The Iron-Blooded Knight, okay? So then you become the ultimate man and the ultimate woman. Do you just become like the most fucking handsome person in the universe? Like you just become the most chadded Chad ever? How does that work? This was because he didn't know Gehrman very well, unsure what he was best at. Furthermore, the person with Gehrman's appearance might not even be Gehrman. Blindly using restriction would only be a waste of an opportunity. He intended to observe and wait for a while longer before he came up with a more specific order to distort the laws. Yes, but you have to remember, okay? Sequence 7, you become like a really pretty woman. At a sequence 6, you become an even prettier woman. At a sequence 5, you become an even prettier woman. At a sequence 4, you switch to being like a chatted male with all the with all the foundation of being like an unbelievably pretty woman. That would be like Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. Romero, I know you get that reference. Great idea, but he'll be attracted to? I assume that would depend on who you were originally before taking any potions at all. Okay. He intended to wait a while longer before he came up with a more specific order. The strange revolver let out a crimson roar of despair and spewed out a storm of black and icy bullets as he shot it 6 times. At this moment, Gehrman's figure turned transparent and incorporeal. At the same time, At the same time, the bullets tore through the target in the black trenchcoat, tearing apart the afterimage left behind. And behind Quanos, Gehrman with a cold expression appeared. He suddenly raised his black revolver, opened his mouth slightly, and aimed while squeezing the trigger. Bang. Well, Ramiro, you also have to remember, canonically, Jaime Lannister is known as like the one of, or maybe like the prettiest or like most handsome guy in the entirety of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's said canonically that the only reason Cersei is attracted to him is because he literally just looks like a male version of Cersei. They look like nearly identical. The floorboard of the right of Quanos Kilgore exploded into countless fragments. Gehrman's shot had been ridiculously off the mark. Distortion. Furthermore, its destructive power was lacking. This was the distortion power of an Earl of the Fallen. Seizing the opportunity, Quanos used disorder to influence measurement standards, arriving at the balcony of the bedroom with simply one step. Then he half-turned his body, and with a smack, he pressed with one of the metal buttons on his iron-skinned pocket watch and said, "Teleportation is forbidden here." Silently, Maegor Manor, which had been illuminated by the gigantic crimson moon, experienced an unknown change. Gehrman, whose body had rapidly turned faint after firing, appeared out of the void again. He had failed to change position. Concerto of light and shadow. Restriction. To Quanos Kilgore, no matter what Gehrman was good at, he had to immediately resist his obvious ability to teleport. An enemy who could do close quarters teleportation fast wasn't only irritating but dangerous. Realizing that teleportation has failed, Gehrman's expression remained unperturbed. His body quickly warped as the colors faded from his body, leaving a deep darkness. Gehrman was like, okay, I can't teleport, I'm just gonna teleport anyway. What does that mean? Did you notice how Marauder, Pathfind, Lawyer accomplish the same thing in different ways? One steals the... Yes, I did notice that, Ramiro. I was thinking about that too. I was like, dude, if like the Lawyer pathway was in front of Gehrman, or in front of Klein, at the thingamajig, in front of the house, Amon kept stealing the distance between them to keep like coming close to him, and they could just distort the distance. So like every time they take a step, they just appear right in front of him. I thought about that. Bang, bang, bang. Bullet holes riddled the spot where Gehrman was previously standing. The area collapsed immediately, revealing the room before. However, no dust was thrown up, and despite such a stir, Maegor Manor remained blanketed in deep shadows. Quanos Kilgore suppressed the urge to restrict the actions of hiding in the shadows, holding on to Rever's shout of despair and Concerto's light and shadow. He calmly observed his surroundings and waited for Gehrman to appear once again before launching his attack. Aren't you too fast? Skill issue, Varshan. Yeah, that's on you, brother. But seriously, I can't even tell you how fucking good the ending of Volume 4 is. Please get there as quickly as you can. Lower it a little bit? Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. However, inside the collapsed room, the shadows were silent and there wasn't any movement. And outside the window, the steeple and chimneys remained immersed in an icy cold darkness. The gigantic crimson moon seemed to be hanging over the roof. I feel like what's going to be really handy in this is, fuck, what's Klein's marionette's name? I can't remember his name. Inuni. I feel like Inuni is going to be really handy, because Inuni isn't here. And I feel like Klein's gonna be like on the ground. He's like, oh, I've lost. And he comes and the guy goes to kill him, and Inuni shows up from behind. He's like, gotcha, bitch. The plants in the gardens, the grapevines far away, and all the various classical windows seemed to degenerate into the background of this night, despite being visible to the naked eye. All of Maegor Manor was cold, dark, and silent. There were no signs of life at all. As a demigod, an important figure in the intelligence community, Quanos Kilgore quickly had a theory. He suspected that the person was related to the Authority of Concealment. He gave him an idea, but Gehrman remained nowhere to be seen. He didn't actually sneak attack, and even gave up the chance to deliver a barrage of attacks, leaving me so many openings. Doesn't he know that a high-sequence lawyer or arbiter is hard to deal with if they're prepared? Using his observation and the relatively non-urgent situation, he quickly understood his current predicament. He knew that defeating Gehrman wasn't the key, but escaping the concealed world was. If he couldn't leave this place, there may be more dangers around. As long as I can leave the dark-styled Maegor Manor, even if the angels were to descend, I wouldn't have to worry since I'm in Backland. Such concealed worlds must have an opening. This is a law that cannot be avoided. Quanos came up with many ideas as he made a decision. He turned around and jumped from the balcony. This demigod of the military reached a high altitude, but he didn't slow down or show any signs of falling. He maintained the speed as he went higher and higher, achieving flight, Earl of the Fallen, exploit. This was the exploitation of laws. By extending the jumping process, he could maintain a much longer duration. This is like Superman in the 1930s when he couldn't fly, he could just jump really fucking far. If Quanos Kilgore became a Sequence 2 angel, he could even jump onto the Crimson Moon with this power. What the fuck? While jumping in midair, Quanos Kilgore swung his right arm and released his Disorder power. He wanted to create a certain level of disorder in the Maegor Manor in this world, and the true exit would then be exposed. Instantly, the flowers and grapevines in the background wavered, the black steeple, chimneys, and classical windows were covered. In this entire world, only the gigantic crimson moon appeared to be right. That's the exit. Quanos Kilgore grasped the patterns from the disorder and used some actual feedback to determine the exit. Without any hesitation, he exerted strength in his waist and used Magnify to forcibly change his direction. At that moment, a figure appeared in front of the manor, none other than Gehrman. A strong gust of wind appeared out of nowhere, sweeping Gehrman upwards as he chased after Quanos. Dude, they're just doing the most random bullshit. This is crazy. Amidst the wind, he raised the iron-black revolver in his right hand and pulled the trigger. A bullet flew out, exploding into countless fragments. He then turned into a storm and swept towards Quanos Kilgore, Death Knell, Slaughterer. It was a barrage of attacks. Almost at the same time, Quanos Kilgore changed directions with no warning, plummeting instead of rushing upwards. As a result, he dodged the bullet's assault, as though he was prepared for it. No, it wasn't the case. He was prepared. Although his main goal was to escape, he was still worried that Gehrman would seize the opportunity to attack, so he came up with a simple trap, planning to use his escape as a bait to fish out Gehrman. Halfway down, Quanos Kilgore's figure suddenly bounced back, having distorted the direction he was heading in. This is so fucking broken. Right on the heels of that, he yanked his pocket watch wielding left hand and grabbed Gehrman through thin air, pulling him from a distance of nearly 100 yards to just inches. Earl of the Fallen, magnified. This is so fucking dumb. Amidst the howling winds, the Quanos Kilgore grabbed Gehrman's clothes and pressed his revolver in his right hand. River's shout of despair released countless bullets like a machine gun. Quanos Kilgore's gaze froze slightly as he immediately moved his left finger and pressed onto the metal button on the pocket watch. With a click, the Earl of the Fallen didn't hesitate to say in a domineering fashion, "Stand-ins are prohibited." Bro, you're prohibited. Fuck you. Just as he said that, the howling winds came to a stop, and Magor Manor returned to silence once more. Quanos Kilgore changed directions and began spiraling in midair in search of Gehrman, but there were no anomalies. This Earl of the Fallen hesitated for a moment before preparing to continue rushing towards the moon. At this moment, figures appeared in the garden, vineyard, and Manor's main building. They either grew or became taller, rapidly taking form. They were all Gehrman Sparrows. He said, "I'm not standing in, bro. I am all of them. What are you going to do about it?" The only difference was that some of them were of normal builds, some had their backs sunken inwards, and the others were bloated. Upon seeing this scene, Quanos immediately recalled a dangerous enemy he once encountered, one of the leaders of the Intes' intelligence department, a bizarro sorcerer. You got it, boy. You got it. You're still cooked, though. How are you guys liking the fight music? I like this. After Quanos Kilgore realized the pathway his enemy belonged to, all the Gehrmans in the vineyard main building and garden raised their left hand, curled their middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger, extended their index finger and thumb, making them all take the simple shape of a gun. Oh, they're all just gonna go boop, 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 firing cannons. Oh. Their index fingers that represented barrels and muzzles aimed at Quanos Kilgore before their arms jerked, seemingly due to recoil. Amidst deafening sounds, illusory doves appeared to the side of the Earl of the Fallen, who were dressed in a white shirt and black trousers. Okay, distort them. We're just gonna fire so many shots, eventually one of the distortions is gonna hit you. They flew at them from every direction. This was the random anomaly that came from the iron-skinned pocket watch, Concerto of Light and Shadow. It made the air cannons, which could blast through houses, turn into doves of peace. You're fucking kidding. Having used Disorder to disrupt the enemy's collective volley, Quanos Kilgore wasn't surprised to see the doves fly upwards. He was already mentally prepared. Loki was peak. He had already endured the negative effects that the sealed artifact had brought on for years. The advantage of this opportunity, he didn't hesitate to raise his hands as he held the iron-skinned pocket watch and revolver, doing so in a bid to make them collide. This was Distortion, one that targeted all the Gehrmans beneath him. To Quanos, what frustrated him most when fighting a Bizarro sorcerer was that he was unable to tell when he faced a marionette or the actual person. As such, he had many powers he didn't dare use because they were ineffective against marionettes. Random bullshit, yeah! A large-scale prohibition effect was still alright, but a single target deprivation was meaningless in actual combat, no matter how many Beyonder powers of a marionette were deprived. It didn't affect the body. When that happened, his opponent just needed to switch marionettes to solve the problem. Wait, that is interesting though, I will say. A Bizarro sorcerer, a high-level Intes intelligence person. Due to similar reasons, magnify on his mystical items on the marionettes were typically written off by Quanos. Similarly, an Earl of the Fallen's bestowment was of no use. It was even inferior to deprivation, as it could cause a Bizarro sorcerer's marionette to lose its corresponding powers. But the negative effects bestowed to a marionette was unable to transfer, be it turning them sluggish, losing the will to fight, or making them anxious. It was meaningless to a marionette who was in essence dead. Therefore, Quanos Kilgore decided to first resolve the problem of identifying marionettes in the body. In this aspect, marionettes in the actual body. In this aspect, others might not have a solution, but a lawyer pathway high sequencer did. There were rules to everything. Together with his combat experience fighting other Bizarro sorcerers and how he had seriously considered solutions for dealing with them during the aftermath, Quanos was certain that distortion could suppress his enemy. We knew they were in Intes. Rozigo was... Oh, I guess, yeah. He knew that Bizarro sorcerers could seemingly switch between their actual bodies and marionettes. He planned on distorting this, making the Bizarro sorcerer only be able to switch to 2 or 3 marionettes. This way, the difficulty of the actual body would be minimized. Of course, if it wasn't for the fact that distortion couldn't exceed certain limits, the area-oriented prohibition effect had reached its limit. Quanos definitely would have used a simpler method to deal with his opponent, such as forcing the Bizarro sorcerer to only swap to 1 marionette, or prohibit his swapping at all. It's crazy how Klein has no experience fighting demigods, but his enemy is so experienced that he has strategies for Bizarro sorcerers despite them being so rare. True, actually. Because seer pathways are rare as fuck. Seer pathways are rare. Marauders are also rare. So I would assume apprentice pathways are also pretty rare. Because, you know, 3 of a kind. Quanos smashed the Reverie, Shout of Despair, and Concerto of Light together as though he was compressing a large area to a small area. Earl of the Fallen, Distortion. Silently, he produced a red glow deep within the shadow. It appeared as though he was offering it to Gehrman in the garden, vineyard, and main building. As for the thick and thin, normal or terrifying adventurers, none of them had any abnormalities. Quanos had also suffered a random anomaly, one of them brought on by the Concerto of Light. It had changed the distortion effect to summoning a flower from the garden below. What the fuck is going on here? At that moment, the battle between the 2 demigods turned ludicrous, comical, and funny. Of course, be it Gehrman or Quanos, none of them thought it was the case, especially the latter. He didn't hesitate as he slammed his palms together, completing the distortion he wanted to rely on to quantify or resist a random anomaly. However, Gehrman wasn't a dead person who would abide by the etiquette of turn-based combat. The large swath of adventurers either raised their hands in a firing stance or used Death Knell with questionable authenticity, firing at the Earl of the Fallen. It makes sense, you know, since he is a lone seeker. Yeah, no, I get it in that sense, Romero. I just mean, like, those pathways are rare in general, and Seer in particular, or I guess even Seer, Apprentice, or Marauder would be so handy in intel gathering. Seer, you can just become other people and take their spot. Marauder, because you can just parasitize other people, take their spot. Traveler, because you can just fucking TP anywhere. So, I mean, handy. Anyway. Meanwhile, Quanos Kilgore's heart stirred. He turned his head slightly to look at the figure in front of him. The figure was wearing a silk top hat, black trench coat, and had a cold expression, none other than Gehrman. The crimson moon seemed to weigh on his shoulders as he glided down, and his body expanded, turning clearer in the process. He lifted his black revolver and shot it towards Quanos. A bullet that had transparent and translucent sections shot out of the muzzle. It was a deprivation bullet, created using a worm of time. It was different from the Arbiter Pathway's deprivation. In essence, it was theft. It could steal the last 3 Beyonder powers the target had used. However, as long as the Arbiter Pathway's deprivation selected a target, they could directly deprive them of their ability. Although this bullet's deprivation effect didn't require contact in order to be effective, the target only needed to be within a certain range and unable to leave the area. No, I don't think I know Sequence 0 of the Marauder Pathway either. In short, one was unavoidable and could only be resisted or weakened through one's level or sequence characteristics. Klein had given up on a sneak attack and had stalled for the time being because he wanted Quanos to use up all his prohibition and deprivation powers that seemed important to him. On the other hand, he was also waiting for the first random anomaly to happen. He would then seize the gap between the 2 anomalies to steal Quanos' 3 most powerful powers. For these goals, he even handed Death Knell and Creeping Hunger to Inuni to make him appear like the real Gehrman. From his current developments, Quanos Kilgore was about to lose Distortion, Disorder, and Magnify. The Sequence Zeros I know are very few and far between. I know Fool, Death, Abyss, Sun, Tyrant, Red Priest, Wheel of Fortune, Black Emperor, Moon, and Visionary. But I knew Visionary for a long... Visionary was the first one I knew. Haha. Well, maybe after Sun, I guess, but it was close. Gehrman underneath collectively fired shots. Suddenly, the air cannons and deprivation bullets exploded, turning into red, purple, yellow, or green fireworks. Concerto of Light had once again created a random anomaly. Get the fuck out of here. It had produced its effects several times in a row without any pauses or delays. Quanos Kilgore immediately smiled and slammed his hands together again. All of a sudden, the young man wearing the silk top hats and the black trench coats under the gigantic crimson moon turned gloomy. Only 2 maintained their previous states. No, Varshan, Visionary wasn't even divined. This was before I started doing divinations. That's how long ago I had the idea for Visionary. V for Visionary. The Quincy V. Gremmy, the Visionary. This meant that Gehrman had only switched places with those 2 normal marionettes. Right on the heels of that, Quanos didn't hesitate at all. He swung his arm and threw out the flower that was held with the pocket watch. The flower sped up and seemed to gain weight of unknown origins, and like an arrow shot towards one of the marionettes. The attack had been magnified and also came with the effects of Bribe, Weaken. The flower was like a cannon that crashed heavily into the ground, causing a quake. The surging waves it stirred threw up the ordinary and unordinary humans in the vicinity, tearing or severely injuring them. The 2 marionettes which Gehrman could swap to had been reduced to pieces of flesh. Quanos maintained his calm as he distorted his trajectory in midair and circled the area while in flight. Where was I? He raised Rever's shout of despair and aimed it at Gehrman that had descended from the moon. At the same time, he prepared Bestowment. He wanted to give his target the negative state of lacking the will to fight. But at that same time, Quanos' mind turned adrift as his thoughts turned sluggish, turning into a marionette. Oh, this is true, because Klein doesn't technically want to kill him, does he? Well, I mean, he will if he has to, but ideally he wants to turn him into a marionette. Because he wants to be able to keep him alive, otherwise he gets cooked. Otherwise people would start asking, like, hey, how did this fucking demigod die in his mansion? He then saw Gehrman, who had descended from the Crimson Moon, wasn't as far away as before. The distance between them was only 100 meters. He had unknowingly entered the range where the spirit body threads could be controlled and stayed there for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is so cooked, dude. 3, like 1, 2, 3, and I'm fucking just turning into a marionette. I'm so cooked. In a fight, I can't stand at all. I need to be fucking like teleporting butt fuck everywhere if I'm fighting a Bizarro Sorcerer. I'm cooked. Deceit. A deceit bullet made from Amon's avatar. When Klein, who was actually Winner Inuni, had pulled the trigger, he hadn't only fired a deprivation bullet, but he had fired twice, to prevent any random anomalies from happening. With an anomaly having happened once, even if there was another to happen, one of the 2 bullets that had been fired would be slightly spaced apart, and only one would be affected. After all, it was an intermittent anomaly. It was possible to have it happen 2 or 3 times consecutively, but 4 or 5 times was pretty rare. So by attacking consecutively, there would at least be 1 or 2 instances that wouldn't suffer an anomaly. Just now, the firing of the second deceit bullet had been concealed by the collective volley from the marionettes, which also is why Klein made Winner Inuni use Death Knell to rely on his luck. Suddenly, he had fully deceived Quanos Kilgore and allowed Inuni to secretly enter the safe distance of 150 meters from him and began controlling his spirit body threads. The moment this began, it meant that the Beyonder powers was taking effect. Since there weren't anomalies, it meant that there wouldn't be any more. So you guys said 10:29 is a good place to end. I'm not going to end at 10:29. We'll go to 10:33. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna just pause right here. I'm just gonna run to the washroom and then we'll keep going. Fuck, hold on. I was gonna finish this chapter, but it's all the same. I'm back. Alright. Okay. Alright. We finished 10:27. We're on 10:28 now, technically. No good. My spirit body threads are being controlled. Having met faceless Beyonders, marionettes, and bizarre sorcerers, and fighting senior Beyonders and demigods, Quanos Kilgore wasn't unfamiliar with the predicament he was in. How long do you think the entire fight took? Couple minutes, like 5 minutes, I don't know. Probably doesn't seem like it lasted that long, about like 5 minutes. Therefore, he knew very well that he had fallen into a lethal trap. The time he had left to save himself didn't exceed 15 seconds. And with less than a minute? Are you sure? Really? Within these 15 minutes, his thoughts would turn more and more sluggish. The speed at which he could come up with solutions would slow down. Towards the end, just the thought of a solution would take several seconds. Yet his stiff and dull body would require plenty of time to actualize thoughts. Of course, he had considered the corresponding response for the last few seconds. It was to abandon his body's control and reveal his mythical creature form. Through this, he could delay the time it took to become a marionette and use his existence to disrupt the enemy, dealing a lethal blow to them to a degree. I'm curious, if someone turned into a mythical creature form, could you just like literally turn around and face the other way and be like, I'm safe? Does that work? Or is it like, oh, being in the existence of them is like, However, by doing so, even if he escaped the fate of becoming a marionette and managed to defeat his enemy, he didn't have much confidence in living. In other words, the outcome of escaping the fate of becoming a marionette by releasing his mythical creature form likely meant that the human Quanos Kilgore would die, while a monster of the same name would occupy his body. While his thoughts weren't too sluggish, and with how he could hear Revere's shout of despair in his ears, the demigod came up with a plan. He moved his right thumb at a speed that he couldn't consider slow. Earl of the Fallen, magnify. Quanos didn't wish to magnify a particular state of his or a particular attack of a sealed artifact. He wanted to magnify the Revere's shout of despair side effect. Is he gonna shoot himself like in the foot or something to hear the shout of despair so that he can just knock himself out and knock himself out of the control of the spirit body threads? They'll just attack you the moment you turn. Oh, that's so cooked. The special revolver allowed the wielder to hear the roar of despair occasionally, a rather serious blow to creatures without godhood, easily pushing them to the brink of losing control. But at Sequence 4, the effects of the roar was greatly mitigated. To Quanos Kilgore, this roar was enough to turn his mind adrift and generate irascible mood swings. And at that moment, he wanted to use Magnify to the roar of despair to a state where even a demigod wouldn't be able to tolerate it. He wanted to use the pain from this psychic piercing to escape the spirit body thread control. As Magnify didn't need any obvious actions, it was quick to show its effects. Opposite him, Gehrman, who held Death Knell and wore a top hat, was floating in midair, with a strong gust of wind swirling around him. He didn't make it in time to stop the Earl of the Fallen from using this Beyonder power. What do you mean stop it in time? Bro, just shoot his arm so the fucking bullet fall. Oh, if he shoots him, then the fucking shot gets him out of the control. Fuck. In the next second, what Quanos Kilgore met in response wasn't a terrifying roar, but silence. This was a random anomaly caused by the Concerto of Light. Oh my god, that's so cooked. How unlucky, Quanos Kilgore thought. He didn't have the luxury of time to feel disheartened as he made a second attempt. He raised his right hand in an unsteady manner, shooting the Rever of Despair at Gehrman, who stood 150 meters away. At the same time, a strong wind that blew at his right hand suddenly disintegrated in an inward fashion, turning into scattered eddies. Earl of the Fallen, disorder. Quanos had used this to withstand Gehrman's interference. Following that, there was a state of thumping sounds like a machine gun. Gehrman's black trenchcoat covered body jerked repeatedly, but he wasn't hit. The bullets grazed his outlines and flew into the distance. The subsequent bullet storm continued their barrage, and finally, Gehrman was repeatedly struck. Amidst the splattering blood, Gehrman kept struggling and shaking as a strong gust of wind, like a paper figurine, looking as though he was about to tear apart. The strange revolver finally stopped its roar, and apart from the head, Gehrman was riddled with holes. Typically speaking, this was definitely a state that only the dead had. However, Gehrman continued controlling his spirit body threads as though he was unaffected. The ridiculous wounds on his body slowly but resolutely healed. How is he healing? What the fuck? This was the effect of flowers of blood. what is even the point? You can't even kill a marionette, and even if he killed a marionette, he has 49 others. This is such a joke. Bro, a sequence 4 comes across a bizarre sorcerer, you just go, sir, I would love to be your marionette. I just, like, what the fuck is even the point? The reason why he didn't die in that storm-like attack was because he had released all his accumulated luck. And it was also because Quanos Kilgore was unlucky. The roar of despair and the bullets that brought forth was nothing to a marionette. Seeing that the attack had failed to achieve any effect, and that the amount of time left to save himself had dwindled, Quanos followed his plan and released his 5 fingers without any thought. The iron-skin pocket watch left his palm and dropped to the ground. At such a critical moment, Quanos Kilgore decidedly gave up Concerto of Light and Shadow, and made it stay far away from the battlefield so as to avoid its random anomalies. This is why Medici said he could take on Klein but not be able to kill him. I know, and that was a fucking... I know, it was a king of angels, and I get that he's in a really bad state, but it's a king of angels, and he went like, in my state I can't kill him. What? Next, he might only have a chance or two to save himself. If another anomaly was to happen, the outcome was irreversible. It's already over, brother. The sealed artifact, which is a mix of half order and half disorder, quickly plummeted to the ground. Quanos moved his fingers with great difficulty as he faced Gehrman, whose wounds were rapidly healing. He had 2 choices, originally. One was to use the third method he had originally thought of to save himself, an action that only required a mere thought. The other was to magnify his enemy's injuries. But when Quanos was still thinking relatively quickly, he didn't expect Gehrman to not die after suffering so many gunshots. Even his control of the spirit body threads was unaffected. There was no follow-up to this plan. At this moment, his brain was already turning into a mush. He had no way of thinking much. He didn't wish to waste any more time as he followed his plans. Not even a King of Angels, just a Wraith. Even a weakened King of Angels could end a sequence 4? Yeah, fair. Around Gehrman, who was wearing a transparent glove and a black revolver, strong gusts of wind that held him up suddenly intensified, setting him up high. With the help of the strong winds, Gehrman raced to the pitch-black sky under the watch of the gigantic crimson moon. Earl of the Fallen, magnify. The strong winds that helped Gehrman fly had been magnified into a hurricane. This way, the distance between them would stretch between 150 meters. Seeing his goal achieved, Quanos, who had yet to regain his freedom, had his expression turned complicated. He's so cooked. He's hitting him with like every attack he can think of, and Klein is like, is that supposed to do something? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but like, sir, you're just wasting time at this point. The hurricane rapidly expanded and swept over him, engulfing him and throwing him high into the sky as well. It made it impossible for the distance between them to open up. He was truly unlucky. He just started flying up with him. Under the night sky, amidst the moonlight, the 2 figures became smaller. Soon, the hurricane returned to normal as their momentum diminished. Seeing this opportunity, Quanos' mind nearly frozen had another idea. Stop. He stopped maintaining his power of flight and used gravity to plummet down like a meteor. Doing so would open up a distance from Gehrman. Then he ignored Gehrman's ability to control the wind and pursue him. He slowly pulled his left arm in front of his body like it was filled with a rust. I will say, even though he's failing at all this because Klein is just goated, it's so cool to see like the mind of an actual trained demigod who's had like years of battle experience. Because like, even though like his mind is basically fucking mush at this point, he's still like, okay, plan number 6 didn't work out. Number 7, okay, I'm just gonna let go and just plummet to the... Like, he's still able to do that, even with his mind just turning into fucking jelly. Like, it's so cool. He then ignored. Yes, okay. He pulled out his left arm in front of his body like it was filled with rust. It was the action of closing a door. He wanted to use an Earl of the Fallen's distortion to create a wall-like seal in the air, putting an obstacle between him and Gehrman. At that moment, the marionettes, the Gehrman sparrows who were still alive underneath him, raised their left hand and made gestures of firing a gun. Bullets shot out, enveloping Quanos in midair. After the shock waves disappeared, Quanos was covered with several bullet holes. Due to the pain and the jolting of his body, he snapped out of the state of having his spirit threads controlled. Following that, he distorted the subsequent volley at that critical moment and distorted his injuries, preventing himself from dying. All he suffered were serious injuries. Serious injuries, yeah. Klein had the info on everything he could do, got help from an angel, planned everything, and this guy knew exactly. And he's still like... He's still putting up a fight. He's gonna lose, but he's still putting up a fight. And Gehrman, who had many mystical items, was swooping down from above, was obstructed by an invisible wall. With another distortion, Quanos' descent speed slowed down as he landed on the ground gently. Before he could do anything, his body froze again. He felt his hands and feet were resisting him and not listening to his commands. Then he saw a figure walk out of the master bedroom of the manor. This was another Gehrman Sparrow. What is even the fucking point? This was Gehrman Sparrow's right hand, had the gesture of firing a gun. He then pulled back his hand and blew at it. That was Klein himself. What he shot out wasn't an air bullet, but a parasite bullet. Delivered with an air bullet's might. It was a parasite bullet created with a worm of time that Amon's avatar had left behind. It could create a worm of time that couldn't live too long, allowing it to parasitize the target and could be controlled by the user. Interesting. But then, this won't allow him to make him a marionette though, no? He said sequence... I'm not... Nightwalker, what I said was they're weak in terms of damage output. I still think that's true. Klein doesn't have a high... Take all of his items away. He doesn't have high damage output relative to other high sequencers. Like, yeah, he has the air cannons, which are helpful for sure. The former was predictable when the Earl of the Fallen spirit body threads reached the state of initially being controlled. This was because he couldn't allow the random anomalies to influence his attempts to save himself, and the latter was all about patience. Just moments ago, his patience had paid off. A chance appeared. Klein was the first to raise his hand and shoot without any random anomalies affecting the outcome. He had accurately hit the parasite bullet. If the thing that had previously taken effect wasn't a deceit bullet but a deprivation bullet, then the strategy would be different. Briefly unable to control his body, Quanos Kilgore looked at Gehrman on the balcony remove his top hat, press his hand to his chest, and bow slightly. As Gehrman's trenchcoat fluttered, his thoughts had turned sluggish. Oh, you're so dead. But I'm curious, does he become a marionette or is he just dead? The iconic bow. He's been doing this to Demigod since he was a sequence 7. He hit the ace snake or whatever from the Church of Storm with that when he was a magician. What a go. Quanos stood on the spot as he had a strong feeling of despair in his heart. As a military demigod who had experienced many dangers, he had a clear understanding of his situation. He wanted to struggle and risk it all by revealing his mythical creature form, but his orders didn't do such a thing with his sluggish mind. His body had been parasitized and was no longer under his control. At that moment, Quanos wasn't even capable of shedding a tear. Aw, damn cooked. Under the gigantic crimson moon's illumination, one second after another passed. Quanos raised his left hand and touched his crew haircut. He had already become Klein's marionette? Oh, he's dead. Oh. In fact, he still had a chance at his final moment, as the parasite effect didn't last long enough for him to become a marionette. He still had 2 or 3 seconds to reveal his mythical creature form. But the problem was that his body was already under the effects of misdirection and deceit. As time passed, his thoughts turned more and more sluggish and wasn't able to grasp that short opportunity. Sorry about that. Client looked at his new marionette and exhaled silently. He looked up at the clear and bright red moon and said, "It's done." Amidst the gigantic crimson moon, which Sequence Zero would have the most spirituality because of the Seer pathway? Monster, yeah, I guess is probably fair. Klein looked at his new marionette and exhaled slightly. He looked up at the clear and blue sky and said, "It's done." Clear and red moon, rather, and said, "It's done." Amidst the gigantic crimson moon, and the black dot instantly appeared and descended from the sky, none other than the servant of concealment, Ariana. In this concealed world, this ascetic didn't use any Beyonder powers to float in midair. She cast her eyes on the Earl of the Fallen. She gently raised her right hand as Quanos' slightly blurry soul emerged from the military demigod's head. Klein lost control of his marionette as a result. That is crazy. Ariana said, just sucked his soul out. What the fuck? He wasn't too surprised by this, because he hadn't sent a worm of spirit through the spirit body threads over. His control over the marionette was essentially still at a Sequence 5 state, not at the demigod level. All the same, bro. "Where did you go just now?" Ariana asked. "Ruins number 1, Quanos answered. Is this a contractual promise or a psychological cue? Klein, watching from the side, sensed something from the Earl of the Fallen's reaction. However, this didn't affect anything because they were in a concealed world. Where is that ruin? Who does it belong to? What is it being used for? That ruin is located deep underground at the Sturlewin segment of the Tussock River. It has a setup that interferes with the powers of divination and prophecy. That ruins used to belong to the Blood Emperor, at least a Tudor, but I'm not sure what it's currently used for. I'm unable to enter the depths of the ruins, and I'm only in charge of sending in people and materials acquired via various means. What materials did you acquire? This time, Quanos didn't put up any resistance, listed them down, including huge amounts of mercury, iron ore, ritual items from different domains. Klein was unable to obtain any effective information because it was too well-rounded. It was possible to do anything. Someone is definitely... I seriously think someone is trying to become a Sequence Zero. Either someone is trying to become a Blood Emperor... Either someone is trying to become a Black Emperor, because that was revealed so long ago and that ritual was told so early. I feel like that's what's happening. Or someone is trying to become the Red Priest. Maybe both. Rate the fight? Fight was good. Not 8? A good fight. Good fight. Thoughts on Sequence 4 powers? Broken as fuck. Like, it was a good fight. Like, it's like an 8. This time, they're really careful, using a large amount of sundries to hide what they're looking for. Even the demigods in charge of these matters don't know. This is a thin line. This is very in line with the spectator pathway. Do you have any guesses on what they're doing? Yes, I suspect that they're digging up something and attempting to make sacrifices. Sacrifices we know are at least necessary for the Black Emperor pathway. Black Emperor ritual. Do you think such fights can be animated? Oh, for sure, Nightwalker. There's not even a question in my mind. Can they animate these fights? Fuck yeah. Yeah, who got you involved in these ruins? Who are the people who can enter the depths? I received His Majesty's orders. I was able to become a demigod because he provided me with the formulas, ingredients, and opportunity. He even bestowed me with the Concerto of Light and Shadow, allowing me to act as a Sequence 5 Beyonder, even in situations where I can't hide my strength. Apart from His Majesty entering the ruins of the depths of the ruins, only 2 other demigods of the royal family can enter. One is Prince Grove, and the other is Duchess Georgina. I'm gonna just put that in my notes really quickly. Hold on. So the royal family has 3 demigods. Kami, you're fucking lying, right? Come on. I can't fucking compete! Come on. He said, oh, okay, that probably means like 7 hours or so. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. He can do that. I got no qualms with that. Bro, on a Monday? What is he on? They both have Augustus as their last names. But the royal family doesn't have only 2 demigods. Miss Justice doesn't know much of these 2, and mentioned that they seldom participate in events. Even their seats as House of Lords are given to their children. At the demigod level, even if they lack Beyonder characteristics of not dying and not aging, it wouldn't be a problem living for more than 100 years. It's not really suitable for them to hold official positions and repeatedly appear. Have you met Correns in the underground ruins? Ariana asked. Who is he? Besides them, who else have you met in the underground ruins? People from the Demoness sect, Psychology Alchemists. The former was originally represented by Despair Nightingale Panatia, but was switched to Saintess of White Katarina. The latter is Havin Rambus. Despair Nightingale. Holy shit. That is such a cool title. So that's at least got to be, so I'm going to guess sequence 2 is that. What is it? Despair Nightingale. Oh my god, that is so cool. Yeah, what? Oh, that was Panatia. Oh, yeah, yeah. Don't you, oh, yeah. I remember her. Never mind. I remember her now. Okay. See? Chill. Okay, okay. Sorry. My memory's actually getting cooked, okay? Listen, I didn't have anything else to focus on at that time, okay? Now I have, like, other stuff on my mind, too. Sue me. Did they enter the depths of the ruins? Ariana asked. I don't know. I wasn't following them all the time. At least when I met them, they were all in the periphery. Ariana asked other questions in an attempt to draw out the general outline of the matters. However, it was obvious that George III's arrangements were flawless. Even a demigod only knew about missions that he was responsible for. After some thought, Ariana flipped over her right hand and gently pressed down, pushing Quanos' soul back into his body. Klein's control over his marionette was restored. This made Klein sigh inwardly. The authority of concealment is impressive. Even if Ariana were to question my marionette one day, I wouldn't even know. Oh, this is true! She could... But wait, would this work for a long-time marionette? Because I thought this would work right now because their soul is here. Oh, by the way, bye Pushkar, I'll see you later, man. But would that work for a long-time marionette? Because wouldn't their soul have dissipated already, or... It will? Oh, okay. Soul stay. Oh, Soul stays. So Klein is okay. So as much as Klein hated what oh my fucking god. Hold on. Dude, my fucking memory's actually cooked. What the fuck? Control, it's called Spirit Body Threads. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the Creeping Hunger owner. The Rear Admiral. What the fuck was his name? I always call him Rear Admiral, okay? I can't remember his name. Shut up. Oh. What was it? Fuck, what was his fucking name? Oh, yes, Kilongos. Okay. So as much as Klein hated what Kilongos was doing to people, he's basically doing the same thing. Now, Klein can say like, oh, well, actually I'm only doing it to bad people. Yeah, all the same, brother. You're still using their bodies without their consent. At this moment, Ariana turned her body and spoke to Gehrman. A problem with George III has been confirmed, basically, as well as where the ruins are. I will immediately meet with the archbishops of the Church of Storm and Steam, convincing them to take action tonight and opening the ruins. Before I inform you, control Quanos Kilgore and pretend everything is fine, and before making him vanish. No problem. Ariana, who didn't have adorned hair, didn't speak further. With a casual wave of her hand, and the iron-skin pocket watch flew over. By the way, Milos, if you're still here, is there art of Ariana? Because I don't think I've ever seen what she looks like. In Creeping Hunger, the souls are in eternal torment and suffering constantly. How do we know they're not doing that here? How do we know that? Did you? Ariana, with a casual wave of her hand, the iron-skin pocket watch flew over. This artifact was a bestowment from George III. Perhaps we'll be able to find some clues from its origins. Then I'll leave it to you, Klein replied. What a bitch, dude. Oh my gosh, she's just gonna take it? He didn't have any complaints about that. He even believed that it was only right. After all, half of the battle's success was due to Ariana's contribution. Half. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, she can take it. Besides, what the fuck? Even if she said like, "Hey, you did all the work. I'm taking it." What the fuck was Klein gonna do? He's not saying shit. In the events that she didn't take the Concerto of Light and Shadow, Klein would mention it when it came to matters like him. He was matters like this. He was always just. And the Concerto of Light and Shadow were the spoils of war that he didn't want most. This was because it was at complete odds with his combat style. The random anomalies would affect him, and the weakening effects could be something horrible. If Klein's spoil of war from this matter was the pocket watch, then he considered promoting it to the Snake of Fate Will Ossepton. Only a life school of thought demigod who relied on luck could survive the Concerto of Light and Shadow. When that happens, with such a huge organization and a Sequence 1, they definitely had a powerful artifact they could trade for it. Upon receiving his reply, Ariana nodded and threw the iron-skin pocket watch back at Quanos Kilgore, making the Earl of the Fallen look no different from before. Her figure vanished, as though it had been erased by an eraser. In the blink of an eye, everything returned to normal. Klein was inside the master bedroom, and Quanos Kilgore was in a guest room tens of meters away. Clenched tightly in his hand was Rever's shout of despair. Then this Brigadier General of the MI9 used disorder to place the revolver back into his underarm holster and pick up the meager wine he had previously poured and took a sip. Cooked. Oh my god, are we gonna get to see what's happening in the underground ruins in the next 4 chapters? Oh, that'd be awesome. Are we still on the good side of angels? Bro, Klein has so many angels on his beck and call now. This is crazy. He just prays to the Evernight goddess. This lady shows up. He writes to Azek. He shows up. He folds a paper crane. Will Ossepton shows up. Like, what more can we even... And they're all of different pathways. This is goated. All the same. All the same, Azek is still the best one. Azek is sleeping? Oh, I'm sorry, do you never sleep, Wallflower? But like, does that mean your friends aren't your friends for 8 hours of the day? What the fuck? Backland, Northborough, St. Samuel Cathedral. The Cardinal of the Church of Storm, Archbishop of the Backland Diocese, deep blue officiant Randall Valentinius descended amidst the wind. Oh, Miss Messenger, true. He donned a black robe with a storm symbol. This muscular demigod cast his gaze to the other side and said to the figure already waiting, Horamek, do you know what happened? Why did St. Anthony invite us? I didn't arrive much earlier than you did. In fact, I only left the laboratory for a few minutes. He wasn't only a clergyman, but also a famous scientist. He was an emeritus professor at the Backland University Physics Department. What is this word? Emeritus. Emeritus. Okay, that's a fucking dumb way to say that, okay? Am I okay to just put on regular music now, by the way? Or should I keep it to... Randall Valentinius was just about to say something when he suddenly saw a figure walk up. The figure was dressed in a black clergyman robe with red accents. By his chest hung 5 dark sacred symbols. He was none other than one of the 13 archbishops of the Evernight Church, Backland Diocese, Saint Anthony Stevenson. Jesus Christ, that's such a dog shit. Put Vanitas on now? Really? Really? Interesting. Alright. Kami is the music guy, so I don't dare to argue with his judgments, you know. Is there something that can't wait until daybreak, or do people of the Evernight Church enjoy discussing matters at night? Randall Valentinius asked. Bro, why are you such a bitch? Just ask, like, hey, what's happening? Well, you gotta be like, nah, well, why do you have to call me? And get your beauty sleep later, you fuck. A very pressing matter, Anthony said. What is it? Randall asked. It's related to the royal family. I'll let Ma'am Ariana do the honors. Just as he said that, a barefooted, bun-haired female figure in a simple robe with tree bark for a belt quickly outlined itself out of the shadows. I love how even in front of all of these guys, she can't be bothered to just put on fucking shoes or get like a regular belt. She's like, I go how I want, bitch. Upon seeing this, Randall and Horamek immediately bowed. That's crazy. Archbishops of the Backland Diocese are bowing to a figure of a different church? I think in my mind that speaks to like a... not only like a respect for each other's church, but like a higher level... She's an angel, yeah, I get that. But it speaks in my mind to like a higher level cooperation of their gods. Is that fair? Yeah, I don't, but like, you'd bow to they'd bow to any angel? Y'all are kind of bitches then. Good evening, Ma'am Ariana, everyone said. Their expression turned solemn at the same time. They had a deep understanding for how important crucial matters have to be for her to be involved. This was definitely not a small matter for a grounded angel to appear. Meanwhile, they couldn't help but be roused up. They realized that they had no idea when this matron of the Evernight Cloister, the servant of concealment, Ariana, had arrived in Backland. She's been in here for a while, bro. Good evening, archbishops, Ariana said without any sign of haughtiness. She then raised her right hand and grasped onto thin air. She's just grabbing onto fucking nothing. A faint light was emitted as it transformed into a scene along with darkness. The entire conversation between Ariana and Quanos Kilgore. As they watched, Deep Blue efficient Randall Valentinius couldn't help but say he advanced to Sequence 4 and became a demigod. The Archbishop knew Quanos Kilgore and believed that this deputy director was only a Sequence 5 and had relied on sealed artifacts with severe negative effects to obtain combat strength at a demigod level. The Church of Storm's influence on the military was greater than the other two churches. Horamek eventually said one involving a secret ruin of the Blood Emperor and a large number of people sent in. This can't point to anything good. Indeed, Randall said. Let's head over now. Ariana looked around calmly and said, this involves the royal family and the king. It's best if you seek permission from your own holy see. Oh, she's like, bro, you start going up against a fucking royal family without having the official backing of the fucking Pope, you guys are gonna get cooked. Ariana looked around and calmly said, nope, in the Angel's choice of words, the Holy See referred to their respective churches' headquarters, the core seat of the power of the church. All right, the two archbishops replied. Does Ariana not... Ariana is, I assume, second in command in the church under the Pope, right? Is that a fair assumption? It would go Pope, her as the head of the 13 archbishops. The other archbishops, I assume, are relatively equal, like just under her, and then the head of diocese and whatever and stuff. After a while, the Deep Blue efficient Randall Valentinius and Horamek Hayden received feedback from the sealed artifacts they carried. Together with Saint Anthony Stevenson and Mam Ariana, they headed for the Blood Emperor's ruins. Whoa, they just have a fucking artifact to reach out to the Pope, and they're like, hello, your papacy, I have an urgent message for you. Like, damn. She's one of the candidates to be next Pope? Based. The next Pope has never worn shoes in her fucking life. She didn't make any disguise. Attempts. She stood there calmly. She wasn't worried that the guards in the ruins would recognize her. Seeing the servant of concealment's actions, Horamek seemed to be in thought. Randall wore a look of calm. In the underground ruins, a strange metal pedestal, a ghostly blue beam, soared up and formed a door. So, these heads of the diocese, I assume these are all saints and not angels, because they all bowed, right? So that would either make them 4 or 3, meaning Klein is like about as strong as Klein is as strong as a fucking Backland diocese archbishop. The 4 black armored guards immediately observed the situation outside through the ghostly blue beam and planned on using a predetermined method to confirm if the person who had summoned the door of teleportation was disguised. But they didn't see anything. The area outside was empty. Just as they felt intense unease and confusion, a figure quickly outlined itself behind them, none other than Mam Ariana. She stood in the blink of an eye. The 4 guards fell into a deep sleep, and the archbishops slowly entered the ruins one after another. They didn't directly follow the path down. Instead, they passed through the hall, floating in midair. This was a world ruled by darkness. Small amounts of light came from the strange moss growing in different spots. With their illuminating light, even Beyonders without night vision could see the overall appearance of the ruin. One side was a grey rock wall. It extended upwards without an end, and it seemed to be connected to the ground. On the other side was a bottomless dark valley, as if it was an abyss where devils lived. A road paved with stone slabs lay in the middle of connecting the halls and buildings together. From time to time, humans would come and go in silence. By the gods, this place and the enemies, it looked pretty true. I swear by the 7 new gods and countless old ones, this scene shall look amazing in time. The archbishop of the 3 churches were about to capture a few people who could enter the ruins to interrogate them, when a figure flew out of the dark valley, heading straight for the demigods. Oh, we're about to get some shit, boys. This figure had a long face and wore a white hairnet. The two curly mustaches grew above his lips, and he had thick brows. His eyes were slightly bigger and looked rather similar to a certain poker card. He wore a gown and had a huge cloak over him. The tips of his shoes were extremely long, and his attire was unlike current times. It was as though he lived 100 years ago. Archbishops like Anthony and Horamik were no stranger to him. They knew that he was the son of, he was the Prince of Sonia, Grove Augustus, one of the demigods of the royal family. "How did you enter?" Grove asked. They all looked at each other, and Anthony said, "We've always been investigating the large number of mysterious disappearances, and we locked onto MI9's Quanos Kilgore. Through him, we found this place." Grove's expression changed slightly as he looked at the woman who left one's heart feeling tranquil. See, find yourself a woman who makes you feel how Ma'am Ariana makes everyone feel. Just you look at her and you feel tranquil. You feel at peace. You're like, damn, everything's gonna be okay. He deliberately asked, "Ma'am Ariana?" "Yes, I was the one in charge of the disappearance case." "We were too greedy. After discovering this ruin, we thought of digging and retrieving the items inside to keep it a secret. We even had certain connections with the Demoness sect. Through the people they gathered, we built a passageway and held rituals." "No, it's not what you think. They were just normal rituals. They're still alive deep within the ruins. If you don't believe me, I can lead you to take a look. Apart from the unopened seals and buildings, there's nothing here." Oh, you're fucking lying out your teeth, bro. Upon hearing his reply, Anthony, Horamik, and Randall exchanged looks, registering the puzzlement in each other's eyes. This was different from their expectations. This made them suspect that something was wrong. Things weren't as serious as they imagined. At this moment, Ariana said, "You even created the Great Smog." "No, that was a lesson we learned from cooperating with the Demoness sect. They actually tried to control Letisac and use him to gain control over the kingdom. After it was seen through by us, they created the Great Smog. From that moment, we broke all contact with them." "How could we do such a thing, just to secretly dig up the Black Emperor's ruins? As long as you head deep down and examine it, you'll see what I mean." Oh, they're trying to... There's something down there that he's sure is strong enough to take down the 4 demigods and Ma'am Ariana. He's like, okay, as long as I can get them deep into the ruins, we can either seal them away or we can kill them or we can do something. He's like, oh, I just have to get them down there and then it'll be okay. What the fuck is down there that he's so sure? Bro, is fucking Alista Tudor down there out of her fucking mind? What do you think is strong enough? Or maybe he's telling the truth. Okay, Dr. Z. I may have lost my memory after going to work, but I haven't lost my reasoning. Don't worry, with Ma'am Ariana around, no traps will work. Besides, ignoring the fact that we lack such power, even if we were able to bury you in the ruins, the churches would discover the problem. I don't believe that you didn't report this directly to the Holy Seas before coming. If you don't return in a while, they'll definitely take some action. Ariana calmly nodded. Okay. Damn. Ariana, gone but never forgotten. Damn. You know, you were truly goated for a little while there. Oof. I think they're so cooked. What's down there? What is down there? The angel and the 3 saints entered the depths of the ruins under the guidance of the Prince Grove. They discovered that there was a hidden ruin in the darkness, with no man having ever set foot there, as well as men and women who had been taught to form different rituals. Everything was orderly and serene. Ariana, Horamik, and the other demigods acted according to their own thoughts and separately investigated the different regions. They all went further to investigate but failed to discover anything. After receiving Ariana's notice, Klein changed Quanos Kilgore into a servant inside the manor, making the MI9's deputy director vanish. Then he unhurriedly held a sacrificial ritual and set the items he received above the grey fog, patiently waiting for daybreak. Are you telling me that there's literally just nothing there? You're trying to tell me that just like they were just hiding this sequel, and they were just hiding this with only demigods knowing like certain portions of it, and they're smuggling in tons of materials to do jack fucking shit? Bullshit. Nope. I'm not buying it. Call me a conspiracy nut if you must. I don't believe it. They were studying history? Yeah, okay. That's what those liberals want you to believe. What, you're gonna believe them? They were only studying history? I doubt it. As the sky lit up, the manor... Okay. Then let me ask you, what the fuck was Gio's dad killed for? Please tell me. He figured out the secret of the king, and this motherfucker went to tell the churches, and they killed him for it. The head of his royal guard for this fucking... And why would they even keep it a secret from the churches? As the sky lit up, the manors along the Tussock River's north bank began to wake up amidst the morning mist. Her dad was just being a little silly. Oh, silly me, my bad. Okay, fucking didn't think of that, Amnesiac. Go, yeah. The tall and portly Framus Cage came to the guest room where Quanos Kilgore had slept last night. He knocked on the door, but there was no response. Has the Brigadier General already headed for the dining room? Framus Cage turned around in puzzlement and left the floor. After breakfast was over, everyone realized that Quanos Kilgore had vanished. Under Dwayne Dantas' lead, they headed outside the guest room and watched the land steward, Richardson, open the door. There was no one inside. Does the general have a hobby of taking morning strolls? Mockthar asked. No, Framus Cage shook his head. Did you hear anything last night? The Chancellor of the Backland University asked. No, it was very quiet. Perfect for a vacation. Brigadier General is an important member of the military. He needs to often handle unexpected matters. Maybe he just left the manor. He seems to know something, or at least he guessed that he came to the manor for some private, personal goals. Klein listened to their conversation as he said to the butler and the land steward, "Ask the servants in the manor if they've seen the general last night or this morning. If they haven't, send someone back to Backland and visit the general's family, inform them of the matter, and let them decide." After giving the instructions, Klein stroked his white sideburns and said to the others, "Things aren't clear yet. Perhaps the general just left because of an urgent matter and didn't want to hold up everyone. Let's do this. Let's continue with our hunting plans and return when the police arrives." He's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? It's probably fine, guys. What would you say? Like a notorious crazy hunter broke in here at night and killed him? Come on, what would happen? He's fine. He's so strong." Fucking gaslighter, dude. After giving his instructions, nope, already wrote that. As Brigadier General, Quanos' companions, Framus Cage had raised an excuse for the crisis, one that was convincing, so everyone agreed with Dwayne's suggestion. Hazel walked straight at the back and glanced at the general's guest room and its neighboring room. She had a nagging feeling that something wasn't right. She wanted to use her powers as a cryptologist to reconstruct the situation. However, an intense fear emerged in her heart. She had no idea what she was afraid of, so she just gave up the idea. Yeah, you're afraid of looking into the... This would be like peering into EBS, or like peering into the Evernight Goddess. She like recreates the scene, and like Ariana's soul just like fucking nukes her. She vaguely felt that she had some experience in such matters, and those experiences told her not to look at such things. Yeah, exactly. What do you think? The boogeyman Giraman Sparrow broke in here at night, cast a spell so no one heard a thing, and then killed him and vanished? Come on, that's ridiculous. He's probably just out working, you know? He's a hard-working man. After the guest, remember Volume 1, Megos' child, that'd be more accurate than EBS? Oh, okay, fair, yeah. After the guests and servants left that room, a thick carpet that held the weight of the coffee table inside the room beside Quanos' guest room began moving, bit by bit. It pulled itself up from under the sofa and coffee table without causing much of a stir. It was solidified flesh. What the fuck? The flesh was soon squirming and reorganizing itself and transformed into Dwayne's valet, Inuni. The one following Dwayne was Quanos Kilgore. He wore the same face and the same build. Decline. There was no need to disguise Inuni. He could get him to transform himself into another person and blend in with the servants, using an illusion to interfere with their senses, making them unable to discover the addition of another person. It was a simpler and more reliable method. However, acting remained important to a demigod. It was the key to accelerating his potion's digestion and for resisting the inclination of losing control and madness. Klein would deliberately try to be bizarre in handling such matters. It's like September right now. I would guess, once again, December 31st, January 1st, Klein becomes a Sequence 3. A marionette wearing another marionette, true. Faceac Frank, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you here before, man. Thanks for popping by. How you doing? Puppet carpet. The bizarre and eerie atmosphere was mainly for himself, to gain the approval of the potion inside him. This would undoubtedly accelerate the digestion rate of the process, but without any feedback of a spectator, it meant that the acting wasn't complete enough. This made the speed at which he digested the potion not as fast as he imagined. Despite doing so many things and so many acts, Klein didn't feel it was possible for him to reach Sequence 3 by the end of this year. Wait until Adam shows up and says, man, you're acting really bizarre, and just, he digests like 800 potions in a second. He's like, holy shit, Adam's my goat, bro. Backland, Eastborough. Inside a 2-bedroom rental apartment. If you turn a wind blast into a marionette, can they become a flying carpet? Oh my god, then Klein could be so bizarre. He could be, oh my god, that's true. Let's make a, oh my god, this is true, Dr. Z. Gio sat on an unstable chair as she stared out the window. You seem to have lost all motivation, Forrest asked. Do you not know what to do after receiving that answer? Is it because you have no access to the king? Rename them. Sorry, Alter. Listen, you were a great member of the Tarot Club. But we got it from here, okay? We need that characteristic now. Whether it's to redeem my father's reputation or revenge, the chances are slim when facing the king. I don't even know how the hell to start. That's because you're weak. When you reach a demigod, you'll discover many solutions. The main problem is that it'll be dangerous. Plus, you can still use others, like the person monitoring Charmaine. She wants to know who the Viscount was loyal to. She must be interested in the king's secret. Klein's bizarre adventures. Charmaine. Gio repeated the name in her state of mind. Beside them, there was a bronze cross and a ghostly blue gem. The gem's exterior had a thread-like pattern and the Beyonder characteristic that appeared after Charmaine's death. It made the things around them appear mild and accentuated their beauty. However, with the bronze cross around, its glow was confined to a small area. There are pathways that I feel like Klein would never involve in the Tarot Club. I feel like Klein would never involve a Demoness pathway in the Tarot Club because they're evil. Not, well, because like to digest their potion, they literally have to fucking just kill millions of people. Like that lady, the Demoness of Despair or whoever, Sequence 4, like Panatia. Was like she just killed like 60,000 people in the Great Smog of Backland, and it was like to minimally digest her potion. It wasn't much, and obviously that was because she wasn't doing the internal part. I get it, but like Klein would never want that in the Tarot Club. Criminal, I mean, maybe. Like, I mean, if I jaywalk 50,000 times, would that digest the criminal potion? What if they kill bad people? That one maybe could work. If you could be like a Batwoman-esque demoness of despair, I feel like that'd be fine. So like criminal, I don't think would work. Devil, I don't think would work. Exactly, yeah, but like, okay. The Monitor is one of the culprits behind Charmaine's death, Gio said. They had already found the spot to bury Charmaine. Force flipped through Leymano's travel to placate the dead Charmaine. Yes, it's why she was instigated to investigate the King's secret and come into contact with the latent dangers. Didn't you say that she might be able to monitor where we used to live? We can find an opportunity to return incognito, throw a letter into the mailbox, and write that the Viscount is loyal to the king and that he has a huge secret. Gio thought about it and nodded. Sequence 0, criminal. Is that the Abyss one, or... One of them is Abyss. I don't know which one. Yeah, Abyss, yeah. After discussing what they were about to do, Force stood up and pointed to the bronze cross. It's time for us to show our sincerity to Mr. Fool for all the help we get. I plan on sacrificing it to Mr. Fool. Do you have any objections? No. Maegor Manor. It was another evening. The news sent by Quanos Kilgore's family was to wait, since this director often acted this way, involving himself in matters of national security. Therefore, Mock and company didn't panic. They made use of the animals they hunted and roasted them over a bonfire. Seeing this gentleman roll up their sleeves and busy themselves with the roasting rack, the ladies headed over to help occasionally, and the children ran around. Klein held a cup of sweet wine, a fine product of Maegor Manor, and sat on the wooden chair. That's so funny, dude. Klein got this man's help to pick out a manor and then killed him in the manor. He said, "Damn, you like this place, huh? Okay, well, this can be your resting place." But then that's a question, Vershawn. Is it possible that for other pathways, you could do the opposite as well, and if, let's say, the Temperance pathway is a way to digest your prisoner potion really well, couldn't you do that in other pathways? Couldn't, like, could you resist the urge to be a criminal really heavily, and that, well, I guess no, because prisoner works both ways, because either you're a prisoner to your urges or you're a prisoner to how you feel and not acting it. So I guess it only works for that. Yeah. No, never mind. See, so they're both acting as prisoner. No, it works. Never mind. Seeing the gentlemen roll up their sleeves and busy themselves, already read this. Behind him was the mixed-blooded valet Inuni, and inside a particular room in the manor belonged to a person who looked identical to Inuni. The evening breeze blew past just as Klein was about to get up and showcase what it meant to roast beef from Desi Bay. He saw a figure phase into existence. It was Ariana. This servant of concealment looked at Dwayne and said there was nothing special in the ruins. She then recounted the main points of what she saw and what she and the three archbishops saw. That doesn't make any sense, was the first thing Klein thought. As the Viscount had a Saintess of White, Katerina, provide him with assistance, this meant that the king hadn't severed ties with the Demoness sect. Under the premise that the Great Smog of Baklan already happened, they continued their relationship with the Demoness sect, meant that it wasn't something that could be explained, as hoping to keep the Blood Emperor's ruins for themselves. With such in-depth cooperation, would the Demoness sect and the Psychology Alchemists now wish to split the spoils? In that case, why wouldn't they seek the help of the three churches? Klein instinctively believed that the problem with the ruins hadn't been discovered. He suspected that there was a leak in the entire process, allowing the king to make preparations. But who could be the leak at this point? Unless fucking Ariana is the leak, which would be cooked. Or Quanos discovered that someone was tailing him and maybe he gave something? Some heads up? Or Adam is working with them. I don't even know how that would work. But dude, if Adam is working with them, since Klein knows of Adam, he knows of Klein, which means he knows all that Klein does because he can peer in on him, view in on him at any time. And if that's the case, he would then know and be able to warn ahead of time. From my killing of Quanos Kilgore to the 3 churches' joint operation, the number of people who knew of it doesn't even exceed 10. How the hell is there a leak? The Viscount's problem resulted in people in the ruins deploying contingency plans. No, his standing couldn't be that high. Quanos didn't even know what the hell was happening. He was only in charge of liaising with the Demoness sect. He doesn't even know of the underground ruins. He first eliminated the possibility of them being prepared due to the Viscount Stratford. After all, the death of the captain wasn't that important. As such, there were very few people that could explain the situation. 1. The person who knew of his secret amidst the sequence of events had deliberately or unintentionally leaked the matter. 2. They hadn't noticed anything wrong with Quanos Kilgore seemingly acting ordinary. But Klein didn't notice anything. The psychology alchemists are in cahoot as well. Could my thoughts be read and secrets revealed? But I have the grey fog. No matter what, there would be some abnormalities, like when I faced that spectator demigod with Anderson. Spectator demigod with Anderson? The psychology alchemist originated from something Hermes left behind. Hermes is... Klein then shot a look at Ariana and said, "Is this place concealed?" "Very." People behind her came and went, but no one noticed her. Roselle once said in a diary that the high-ranking members of that organization are important figures. Could it be that one of the high-ranking members of the churches is a member of the Twilight Hermit Order? And could it be that the ruins which Ariana and the archbishops went to wasn't the real one, but an imagined one by Adam? Oh, I got to a similar theory as Klein, but I got to a similar theory as Klein, but we have different thoughts. Okay, because I'm thinking, I don't know. Damn. See, all I'm going to say is, I feel like Klein and I generally tend to have a lot of really similar thought processes, okay? You guys can be like, oh, glazing, you're hyping yourself up. No, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. I'm a clever little fucker. That's all I'm saying, you know? After restraining his thoughts, he looked at Ariana and said, "Is there a possibility the ruins you saw were imagined?" He didn't mention Adam or the Twilight Hermit Order, afraid that discussing such matters, they would be heard by Adam. As he was inside Ariana's world of concealment, Klein believed that thinking of Adam and the Twilight Hermit Order likely wasn't to pose any problems, but he still wouldn't take the risk. After all, Adam was a king of angels, and After all, Mr. Dorr could freely discuss Adam with Roselle back then, not only because of beyond her powers of the secret sorcerer's secret keeping, but also because he was also a king of angels, a level not lower than Adam or Amon. Perhaps even higher. What the fuck is higher than a king of angels if you're not a god? Imagined. Ariana repeated the words as she had figured out something. At her level, she was no stranger to ancient history. Furthermore, she was also an angel that represented the authority of concealment. She possessed the highest clearance in reading all the church's info. Psychology alchemists? She asked. Klein nodded. Their higher-ups likely don't have such an ability of turning imagination into reality. In this world, there are only 1 or 2 people who have such authority. I understand, Ariana nodded. Now that the underground ruins are open to us, I will find an opportunity to verify it. If it's true, it means that one or several of the archbishops of the Church of Steam and Storm are working for him. Angel? The winner of the Kings of Angels battle is a higher... She didn't raise the possibility that the Evernight Church's upper echelon being problematic. As the goddess wielded the authority of concealment, it was hard to keep such matters from her. The ruins will be left open to the churches? Yes. If it truly is imagined, it means that their cooperation is on the brink of success, and they just need to delay a little longer. That's what I'm thinking too. The tide of the times is changing. Thankfully, I'm a lot more prepared than before. I now have demigod level Marionette. Oh, this is true. And in certain areas, he's better than me. After all, he can use my Beyonder powers while I can't use his. Since I can't digest the potion anytime soon and seek my advancement, strengthening my marionettes is also a way to protect myself. I can also take note of the Sanguine and Miss Sharon's plot against the Rose School of Thought. He then asked, do the 3 churches doubt Prince Grove's explanation? They don't. Quanos Kilgore had mentioned Katarina, but you don't have evidence. After all, they can explain that. After they split up with the Demoness sect, Katarina was sent over to discuss things and make an attempt, but it was rejected. During this process, because they knew each other's secrets, no one took any action. And faced with an angel family, one that wields at least half of the forces of the military, the 3 churches won't immediately lose decorum unless there's evidence. First, they aren't united, and they have to consider that if a civil war breaks out, countries like Faesak, Intes, and Phaenopotter, as well as Church of EBS, God of Combat, and Earth Mother, might try to take advantage. There were signs of Saintess White Katarina appearing over Viscount Stratford's side. I will try to find her, he simply mentioned. Apart from that, Klein still wanted to find Trissy and eliminate her. Her value was clearly not as dangerous as hers. What? I will try to do that as well, Ariana indicated. That she would try to investigate Katarina. Bro. When are things gonna start calming down? We have like 400 chapters left. You can't keep building up. How are we gonna end? Unless, if this bitch ends in a... If Lord of the Mysteries ends in a fucking cliffhanger, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I have to say that Ariana's attitude when discussing things with me is confusing. She doesn't exude a condescending attitude. She treats me as an equal. Well, yeah, you're both blessed of the goddess, so she probably sees you as an equal. To get through 4 volumes. Well, there's a second book, so obviously not everything is wrong. Yeah, I know. He asked, has Haven Rambus been captured? He has gone missing, Ariana answered. As expected, the possibility of a leak has increased again. Haven Rambus has gone underground. But that doesn't mean he can't be contacted by Miss Justice. When the time comes, Miss Justice has already hated him. The only problem is whether Adam will appear and imagine fake ruins. If that happens, attacking Haven might mean a non-zero possibility that Adam might be watching him. The more Klein thought, the more of a headache he had. It had to be said that in an era in which deities rarely descended, the 2 brothers, Adam and Amon, were the limits to one's strength and power. A king of angel was in existence closest to that of a deity. Cuttlefish is playing chess while I'm playing tarot. Compared to Amon, I'm more afraid of Adam. Me too! He might be sitting next to you, listening to you, watching you smile while he reads your most truthful thoughts, making you die in the most natural, logical, but baffling manner. Without a doubt, Klein didn't discover anything as he looked around everywhere. Noticing his reaction, Ariana calmly added, "He isn't here." Oh, thank God. "I will take note of Havin Rambus's whereabouts," Klein said. "After this matter is over, you can attempt to pray to the goddess for a bestowment," Ariana added. She will bestow him with the scholar of your potion formula." Klein roughly understood Ariana. What? What do you mean, when the time comes? What does that mean? Bro, you understand when the time comes, there's probably going to be a new fucking god, right? "Praise the lady," Klein said. "Praise the lady." Ariana drew a crimson moon on her chest. Her figure didn't disappear bit by bit, yet her figure disappeared bit by bit, yet the guests at the bonfire didn't notice her at all. Klein sat down once again and analyzed his situation from another angle. Quanos Kilgore disappeared without any warning. From the evidence presented by Ariana and the words she said, it implied that MI9... It implied that the MI9 director is in her hands. In other words, the assault on Quanos Kilgore is related to the Evernight Church. Quanos disappeared in Maegor Manor, which belonged to Dwayne. He's a believer of the Evernight goddess. From what the King's faction and the Psychology Alchemists know, Dwayne can be confirmed to be an informant of the Evernight Church. This way, my safety can be guaranteed, but I can't avoid being observed and monitored. I have to be careful. I have to think of a reason to add a new servant. I can't keep having Quanos or Inuni hide this way. This will make it easier for a problem to be discovered. Or maybe I can make a marionette turn into human-skinned clothes, fusing into another marionette. What the fuck? Bro, can he wear his marionettes like a suit and pant? That'd be amazing. As he thought, Klein stood up and placed the glasses of sweet white wine on the table beside him. He then turned to walk to the main building and entered one of the bathrooms and went above the grey fog and observed every corner of the manor. During this process, Klein's eyes were tensed. He was worried that a priest wearing clothes with a beard and golden eyes would simply appear. Yeah, if Adam was there, you ain't seeing him, brother. How many churches is he informant to? Evernight and God of Steven Machinery, right? That's just those two, no? Because Gehrman doesn't really believe in anything. So just two. Fortunately, after a series of inspections, he confirmed that there was nothing unusual with the manor. Klein heaved a sigh of relief and cast his gaze at the long bronze cross on the table. It was an item that the magician and the judgment had recently sacrificed to thank Mr. Fool. It doesn't look like its level is low. Klein picked up the cross and did a divination on the item's powers and effects. Both of them were one and the same. The bronze cross could cleanse power of degeneration, corruption, corrosion, darkness, evil ailments, and other domains, quickly dissipating them. Due to this reason, this mystical item could clear the mental corruption of Beyonder characteristics. We finally got one! So if for example, like, we don't have any shit characteristics right now, but if, like, whenever Emlyn wants to progress, if you could get the characteristic from the sun, Klein could then cleanse it as the Fool, and then give it to Emlyn, and then take a price for it. Well, I guess he probably wouldn't do it. Klein would probably give it to his blessed, the world, and the world could clear it, I guess. You know what I'm thinking? You know what this cross is reminding me of? I don't know what it looks like, but this is what I'm imagining, okay? Obviously, this is not bronze, but you'll get the idea. I'm imagining Kylo Ren's lightsaber. like this, but like bronze. Okay. This also meant that if one were to carry or wear the bronze cross for more than an hour, the other Beyonder's sequence would drop by at least one sequence. The Beyonder sequence would drop by one sequence? What? Oh, wait, hold on. And it was precisely because of this potent purification that the bronze cross couldn't coexist with other items or be in contact with other characteristics. It couldn't exist on the same person. Furthermore, it has also repelled the wielder's Beyonder characteristics, albeit not in a manner that was obvious. Over the passage of time, it would cause one's characteristic to seep out. That's so dumb. It also meant that if one were to carry the bronze cross for more than an hour, the sequence of one would drop by at least one. Beyond 3 hours, non-demigods would definitely be reduced to an ordinary person. Exceeding 6 hours, sequence 4 and 3 saints would begin to lose their powers as well. It was almost ineffective against angels because they had the ability to shatter characteristics and had extremely strong control over their powers. Oh, so if once Klein becomes a demigod, he can just wield this like a fucking go. It can be used to retrieve the characteristics of Beyonders who fail to advance without dying, or from those who lost control. This cross's power resembles that of the sun pathways Unshadowed. Oh, that makes sense too, because Unshadowed, burning, sun pathway. Okay. I'm so confused now in hindsight why a fucking sequel, how a sequence 3 or a grade 3 sealed artifact has EBS's blood in it. What the fuck is that about? 1033, last chapter, boys. Let there be light. Oh shit. A new song for next chapter? Can I just start it right now, Kami, or when should I start it? What the fuck? What would that even give me? What are you on? No, I get that they didn't know that. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that they didn't know it had EBS's blood. But I'm asking, where the fuck did they get EBS's blood from? There's no fucking shot. A god, you could just pray to God and be like, Lord, give me 5 drops of your blood. And he'd be like, I feel chill today, you can have it. Like, even fucking Will Osepton, who's sequence 1, sure. But is like, bitch, you want a drop of my blood? My blood. I'm gonna need some shit from you, dog. Do you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would... Okay. EBS is a homie like that? Oh, bug. I didn't think of that. Oh, he's just goated? Never mind. Okay. Okay, scrutinizing the bronze cross in his hand, Klein was certain that it was at least a grade 1 artifact. Makes sense, grade 1 demigod, yeah. Apart from its purifying effects, the item also possessed Flaring Sun and other demigod level spells in the sun domain. As for its negative effects, they weren't a problem to resolve if one used it properly. For example, helping people who stumbled into the Beyonder world hoping to escape this madness to become normal humans again. It could also be used for people who consumed additional potions to secrete the characteristics, although this required precise timing, otherwise it could easily cause one sequence to drop. Ew, Milos, you're so disgusting, Jesus Christ. This made Klein sigh. This was the most useful and valuable negative effect he had seen. To him, the only problem was that this cross couldn't be carried for a long period of time, nor could he give it to his marionette, as it would expel their characteristic. As for letting ordinary creatures turn into marionettes, they would praise the sun by wearing this cross for a long amount of time. I love how EBS's negative effects is like, listen, if you wear one of my characteristics, you will praise the Lord all the time. What a goat. He's like, listen, nothing bad's gonna happen. You're not gonna like burst into flames. You're not gonna like, fucking die a horrible death. You're just gonna be like, Lord, You are the light of this universe. Dr. Z, if you knew the formula for sequence 4 Unshadowed, you would know. What would I know? The main ingredient is the EBS blood. He gives it as bestow. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I can leave it above the grey fog and take it out when I need it. To a bizarre sorcerer, this side effect isn't much. After all, I don't perform unprepared. I'll later confirm if it corresponds to an Unshadowed. If it does, I'll sell it to the Little Sun after he digests the Priest of Light potion. I believe that the City of Silver's 6-member council's chief wouldn't be miserly to not exchange it with a sealed artifact of equal value. Miserly?
Miserly.
Miserly. I see. I believe the Sun pathway is clearly more suitable for the Forsaken Land of the Gods than other pathways. He didn't immediately make a confirmation and plan on leaving it until he returned home. When that happens, he would use Dream Divination to figure out the origins of the artifact. As Magur Manor was close to the underground ruins, he was afraid that the royal family angel or even Adam was observing the area. Brother, if you see EBS's blood in the real world, you're cooked. You know this, right? Even if this sealed artifact doesn't correspond to Unshadowed, it is definitely from the Sun pathway. At most, it's mixed with other characteristics. No, they'll be expelled. And the Church of EBS's Sun trademark is a sacred emblem made of gold, an abstract sun, having nothing to do with a cross. After eliminating this possibility, the only one related to the Sun domain is the City of Silver's creator, the ASG, Adam and Amon's dad, a suspected transmigrator. It appeared in the hands of Viscount Stratford, so does this mean that in a sense it's the Twilight Hermit Order who's cooperating with the royal family? And the Psychology Alchemists are just a ruse? Of course, there are too many possibilities. It might have been found by the Augustus family, since they're quite a famous angel family after all. If this artifact was provided by Amon, could it be part of his arrangements? Oh, because Amon has an item of his dad. Adam has an item of his dad. That would make sense. Wait, Milos, if you're here, can I bug you to send me some of the... some ASG art? I'm just curious about something. Faced with Demoness Trissy, who is clearly involved with an evil god. If we don't have any ASG art, just send me some murals or something. I don't know. Faced with Demoness Trissy, who was clearly involved with an evil god and her partner, Viscount Stratford, who chose to use this purifying cross and give up other items. That arrangement is very reasonable. Upon deciding to eliminate Charmaine, since he wasn't sure if she had been corrupted by an evil god and was afraid of accidents, no SGR, fuck, okay, fine. That too is also very reasonable. I can send them statues and stuff? Nah, don't worry about it then, Milosh. Okay, never mind. With this in mind, my phobia for 008 has reared its head again. Yes, Miss Magician and Miss Judgment has privately discussed Adam before. It involved matters regarding the Forsaken Land of the Gods. Even if it was arranged by Adam, why does he want to give it to them? Klein felt his scalp tingle as he thought about it. Composing himself, he decided to do further experiments after we returned home. He didn't hesitate and returned to the real world. As for the Adams and Quanos Kilgore, he solely relied on divination without the grey fog. Apart from his Concerto of Light and Shadow, which the Evernight Church took, and the badge he had used to open the underground ruins, Quanos had two other items. One of them was Rever's Shot of Despair, which Erdes has mentioned. It originated from a failed sacrifice and had two other modes. One was Ordinary Shot, its might being slightly weaker than a clown's air cannon. Why the fuck would I want a gun that's weaker than my pew 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 pew? That's just worse. And the other was Machine Gun Sweep. It could spew out large amounts of bullets in a second or two. These two modes came with a Shot of Despair, having a certain level of influence on demigods at the saint level, but it wasn't too effective. Of course, not every demigod could withstand such an attack. Just like Klein himself, he didn't have a ridiculous body or defense. The other item was Lucky Grass. Is that what the kids are calling weed nowadays? It looked very simple, a four-leafed clover that had been made into a protective charm. Its power was to accumulate one's chance of success after subsequent failed attempts. The negative effect was that it magnified the wearer's character flaws. Klein's appraisal on it was to change its name to Mother of Success. These two items were of little value to Klein. He continued keeping them on Quanos. Instead, it was this demigod marionette that was his greatest harvest. True. Lawyers had an acute grasp of knowledge on how to make loopholes in law. Well, yeah, that's what a lawyer does, bro. Barbarian provided strength and constitution that broke the rules. Briber had bribe. Baron of corruption had distortion. Mentor of disorder had disorder. And Earl of the Fallen had bestowment, magnify, and exploit. They were all pretty good powers. In fact, instead of turning him into a marionette, using creeping hunger to graze Quanos would have been a lot more discreet, making it harder to be discovered. But if that's the case, I would only get 3 powers. On the lawn, Makta was standing in front of the roasting rack, trying hard to make Ispalam roasted meat, while sweat dripped on his forehead. Hazel was standing a short distance away, her eyes looking on brightly. She no longer had the arrogance she had before. She even had a few black marks across her face, a result of the smoke. Portland Maman was holding a cup of wine, smilingly watching the relatively young lad being busy. From time to time, he would raise a meat skewer with chunks of meat and bite down on it. Klein can join the Harvest Church with the amount of marionettes he collects? True! You'd just be like, Mother Earth, it has been a plentiful bounty this season. Upon seeing this, Klein's heart calmed down. Zenob, how's it going, man? How you doing? On Sunday afternoon, the group of people who went to Balkan Street's suburbs returned to Balkan Street. After dinner, Klein headed above the grey fog and picked up the Brown's cross. He confirmed that it indeed corresponded to Sequence 4 Unshadowed and had a rather uncreative name, Unshadowed Crucifix. He then picked up a new divination statement. He then wrote a new divination statement, Origins of this Cross. Klein didn't immediately divine if the crucifix had any traces of being arranged, afraid that it might point to Adam and place him in a state of vigilance. He planned on investigating the situation by figuring out the sealed artifact's origins. If the crucifix's origins or former owner was Adam, the truth of the matter would be undoubtedly point towards a deliberate arrangement. Klein put down the pen and exhaled. I'm courting death again. See? And you guys said it wouldn't come in handy. Lies. He suspected that the unshadowed crucifix originated from the City of Silver's creator, the ASG, a powerful deity stronger than the ancient gods like Dragon of Imagination. Sneaking a peek at him would exceed the damage Sneaking a peek at him would cause damage that exceeded Klein's previous divination of Grozel's travel. But things were no longer the same. Klein was now a demigod. The damage he could withstand, as well as the power of the grey fog he could use, far exceeded what he could use before. After spending a few seconds to calm his emotions, Klein leaned back into his chair, held the crucifix in his hand, and held a paper in the other, and recited the divination statement over and over. Klein used cogitation as a jumping board. In the hazy world, a building whose original form was obscured by layers of grayish-white stood in a pitch-black environment. Surrounding it were monsters. Yes, Kami, we got it. You're good. You're good, buddy. Take a deep breath. You're gonna be okay. This music is already scaring me. What the fuck is coming? Evangelion music? Oh, that's not good. I mean, the music is good, but like thematically, it's not good. A crack opened on the grayish-white building's main surface as a palm that had almost white skin reached out. a man walked out wearing a black clergyman robe and a silver crucifix hanging on his chest. The man's hair wasn't long, and it was mainly raven black in color. There was a faint hint of blonde at the roots of his hairs. His eyes were pure gold in color, and his skin was rather white. He had a faint outline and pronounced eye sockets. He looked quite similar to people from the northern continent. He took 2 steps forward, reached out his hand, and grabbed at the very ordinary crucifix. His eyes gradually lost their look of confusion as the ends of his lips curled up and said, "Let there be light." The pitch-black surroundings of the grayish-white building were immediately pierced by bright lights, revealing what it really looked like. This was a deep valley where nothing could be seen above it, yet the infinite light filled every corner. And there was light. The image of the next scene flashed. A drop of golden blood that emitted light and heat dripped onto the silver cross. Above the drop of blood seemed to be a figure that was formed of dazzling light. The face that he couldn't see clearly was looking up, seemingly effused with pain and a sense of distortion in a real manner. He cast his gaze over the area above the grey fog, casting it at Klein, who was seated at the fool's high-backed chair. His voice resounded again as he said, "Mysteries." Suddenly, without any warning, Klein's thoughts erupted with a boom. How the fuck is that a good place to leave? How the fuck is that a good place for me to end stream? What the fuck, guys? I thought we were friends. What do you mean? Okay, so that is certainly ASG. There's no doubt in my mind, because his image is literally 50-50 Adam and Amon. Because he wears a black priest robe, black for Amon, priest robe for Adam. He wears a cross, Adam. He has black hair, Amon. He has like a recessed face that I think sounds very similar to Adam. He has black hair, but he has golden roots, Adam. Like, he's literally a 50-50 of his kids. So of course his kids would be, one would be the wears white robes and has gold hair, and the other has like wears all black and has black hair. That's ASG for sure. And he saw straight through. He saw Klein and he went, "Oh, cool. Interesting. Who the fuck?" Okay, let me ask a question. What's a good place to end next stream? What's a good place to end next stream? What's like a good chapter? Because I need to know. Because that way I can figure out, like, okay, if it's like 7 or 8 chapters, I can do it next stream. If it's like 10 or 11, I might do like a chapter or 2 now, and then at night be able to do like a decent, like, ish stream, and then go to bed at a decent hour. Oh, the plot is so thickening, dude. ASG just looked through all of time and space and said, "What's up?" 10:40 next up? Okay. That's not that bad. Okay, 7 chapters. We can just do that. We can just do that at night then. Nah, Hope. I think we'll end it there, dude. Because I think one more chapter isn't going to give me any fucking answer. Okay, how about this? Does it give me any answer? Do I get any more answers for episode... yes, we watched episode 6 at the start of the stream. Next stream will be in about 6 hours, Dr. Z. We'll do 6 hours. Does that work for everyone? I mean, it's not, nothing's going to work for everyone, of course, but, like, relatively. Mysteries. Although, you know what I'm also confused about? This was also something I was thinking about when I was bored as fuck at work. You know what I was thinking about? Pala Zoroast keeps saying like, oh, maybe it's my old friend, maybe it's the fool I used to know. And it sounds like, from what he's talking about, that the fool also had access to the Tarot Club. Or not the Tarot Club, but the Grey Fog. Because he saw him, and he saw, like, Klein's... Or sorry, he saw Leonard's, like, spirit body or whatever get pulled up, and he was like, oh, that might be my friend. So what if my theory is right, that Klein is the vessel for someone like old resurrecting, and it's the old fool that Pala Zoroast knew. Fool referring to whoever was previously the sequence 0 of the seer pathway. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. Till I catch up. Wait, am I ahead of you now, Queen? What do you mean, till I catch up? Or are you just referring to, like, but that's true, Kami, but... No, they can be multiple they can be multiple fools. I don't have any qualms about that. I'm referring more to the fact that Pala Zoroast keeps saying, like, oh, that might be my old friend. Like, what does that mean? I'm on 126? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, no worries, Queen. Okay, so you're right at the start of this this stream, because I think I started this stream at, like, 124 or something. These next few chapters are so good, Dr. Z. Dr. Z, Queen, wait, what? Sorry, Butter. Wait, 11:20? Oh, so you're ahead of me. Oh, you mean like you're behind in terms of VODs. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. $11.26? Well, then you're like, yeah, you're like 100. Is there a... yeah, maybe she meant 10:26. I don't know. Because if you're 11:26, you're 100 chapters ahead of me. You're chilling. By the way, Kami, as much as I hate giving you praise, because you're a Frenchman, great art, great music choice, dude. What the fuck? Oh, it's getting so good, Queen. Yeah. Oh, Azekar. Oh, my boy. My boy, Azek. Damn, man. Azekar is so good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Next time, read until 10:33 at least, because, like, oh my god, that was such a good chapter. Alright, bye, Hope. If I didn't care about people watching VODs, I gotta send copyright free. Yes, this is true. Well, Kami, it kind of depends, because like I don't mute the VODs even when I get copyright, as long as it's like a demonetization and it's not like a copyright strike. I don't give a shit. Like, dude, I'm not fucking straight. Yeah, I'm just checking out art, Queen. Bye. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. I don't give a fuck. Like, the demonetization is what it is. I don't like. I can't, like, unironically, I feel like 60% of my streams are demonetized. I don't give a fuck. I have fun reading, okay? That's... Why do you think I ask about fucking memberships all the time? It's because the streams are literally, like, I don't make a penny off of them. Like, of the last streams that I can see, sharing on, that's nice. Ineligible on, ineligible on, ineligible, ineligible on, eligible. Like, this is what my fucking, like, these are my fucking VODs. I don't fucking care, dude. But yes, that's why I get to harp on memberships, okay? Fuck you guys. God damn, Gehrman's like cool as fuck. Jesus Christ. That is terrifying. Oh, he just looks like a nice, sweet little traveler. This is some actual K-drama shit right here. What the fuck? Hold your weapon straight, you fuck. You don't know where the bullet's gonna go like this. God. Okay, bye, Dr. Z. I appreciate you popping by. Damn, like, these artworks are so good. This is so good, dude. Oh my god. This, man, I, like, even so far in, I can't fucking explain how amazing it is. Yeah, I'm gonna schedule the stream right away, Romero. Yeah. Like, I can't fucking understand how good the artwork for this fucking book is. Like, that's, look at that. That's beautiful. Remember the mysteries, remember the Mushroom Mysteries? Yeah, it's quite important. I figured. Oh, damn. If we wanted them to know that we killed Quanos Kilgore, we definitely would have left the tarot cards all over him. Just been like, yeah, bitch, we're coming for you. Sequence 0. The Fool. ASG being dead. Oh, yeah. See? Like, in hindsight, that looks like a little 50-50. What was described sounds to me like exactly like a 50-50 of Adam and Amon. So I think that's ASG for sure. Bye, Afterlays. You're heading out too? I appreciate you popping by. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that looks like a perfect mix of Adam and Amon. Well, his robes are supposed to be black, but other than that, you know. Yeah, like this. Jesus Christ, that looks terrifying. Mysteries. Alright, everyone. I think we'll end stream there. Thank you, everyone, for popping by. Have a great rest of your day or night. I'll catch y'all in like 6 hours. Now that last one, he doesn't look very handsome, I'm not gonna lie. But the black robes are on point. Thank you, everyone, for popping by. Have a great rest of your day or night. I'll catch y'all in 6 hours if you guys are free. If not, I hope you guys can watch the VODs later. Bye, guys.